There. Ah! There we go. Ah! There we go. I was wondering why that was a black screen. I completely forgot to change the scene. Hello, everyone. There. Okay, that works. Let me just take a moment to pop the chat out. And I need to turn the volume down on my headset. There we go. But yes, hello. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I had struggles with the game constantly turning itself off. It kept crashing. It was a bit meh. It's like YouTube is up and running. There we go. Uh-oh, my chair's doing that thing where it keeps falling. I'm fairly certain it's a heat-related thing, because it only does it sometimes. Anyway. I'm going to start off with, there we go. I'm actually going to... No! What am I doing? No, I'm not going to start off with headhunting, because I might as well do that towards the end when people are actually in. So for now, I will actually go just straight to the archives. But in here... Yes, it was here. Hello, Scarf. Okay, so where we last left off, we literally only had 3 bits left. Just these bits here, and that's pretty much it. So it shouldn't be a particularly long stream today, which is just as well because, oh boy, it is incredibly hot out here at the moment. How did the pre-10 pool go? It was alright. I got, I can't remember her name. She was one of the Sancta women from the previous event. Yeah. Hello, Raphael. God, what's her name? She's the one with like the light bluish hair. Buria, I think so? I could just check. Yes, Spuria. Whoa, why is there 17? Oh, okay, these are just... When did you get... Oh, okay. I think you've already got... Yeah, okay. I guess it's just because it's been a while since I was on the PC version, so it's just sort of kept all of those. Anyway, archives and... the fucking seat. That's going to be annoying. Anyway, back over to... Here. Alright, last 3 of them. So, starting off with Terminal Velocity Part 1 and 2, and then Final Destination. How's the heat? It is absolutely atrocious. It was 40 degrees earlier. It is 37 now, so it hasn't actually improved by much. Alright. How's the audio going? Okay, audio's fine. Just move that around. Boop and boop. Okay. They say that Lake Shabidabida, I've never bothered. I love it how 4 parts in and I can't be asked to remember the name, is most beautiful during winter. Winter seals the lake in a case of ice, and from afar it looks for all the world like a great gemstone. Okay. Revealing a most breathtaking beauty in the brilliant sunlight. But if you were to observe from up close, perhaps you would be able to appreciate its beauty even further. There is no gem so flawless, yet so adamant. Beneath the ice, its waters yet flow. Since when did you decide to take up poetry? According to the directives of the Weinberg Court, we will follow behind the Saintess, walking from the ice to below the feet of the statue of Kirigander. This is hardly what I would call a short stroll, and all sorts of mishaps can befall us while we walk. Gnosis, are you worried that the ice beneath your feet might shatter? How very unlike you. You know that's not what I'm talking about. Many of the guests of ours who are here to attend will be watching us with keen eyes. Your plans for defensive maneuvers still lack accurate information in CODs. We are not in what I would call a favourable position. Did the statue's face get slimmer? Technically it did, thanks to her and Hatman. Allowing that Trilbury Asher to approach the statue of Kurganda yesterday was my mistake. Oh, I'm sure it was divine intervention, technically speaking. If we have need of it, I can go and settle things with him right now. If our quarry has already sensed or to miss, I feel like there might have been a word missing there. That doesn't seem to work, at least not the way I remember it. Then acting now would already be too late. John Smith, proud practitioner of job at place. Yep. God, his cover stories are so stupidly hilarious. This terrible habit of yours of neglecting the bigger picture when you take action, forget it. You and NCODs are pretty much the same. Not asking either of you to change your ways. All I ask is that next time, please go to the trouble of restraining yourselves, just for a little bit. You'll save me from having to rack my brain to find ways to clean up your messes. Duly noted, Gnosis. What do you think, NCODs? I have not the strength to casually cut apart a giant statue tens of meters high. Wow, you really just threw her under the bus there, just like, nope, this is all you. Indeed. You merely invited that doctor over, who then proceeded to nearly ruin our plans, is all. Ouch. I have no desire to listen to the two of you jibe and snipe at each other with your nonsense. Now, about the... again, forgot how that's pronounced. Responsible for keeping order. They'll be posted to the island ahead of time. As for who is in charge of the reception for the Victorians, there are several merchants who will take care of the matter. Gnosis, you are far too tense. We have already completed all preparations we can do. All we need to do now is wait. And wait we shall. Spring is just around the corner. I still remember the Saintess, when the Saintess descended from atop Mount Carlin 3 years ago. That day, Kurganda sent us her blessings, and even that Inciodis couldn't help but kneel. I do not know if we will ever see such miracles again these days. It seems like seeing the sights of today has hooked up old memories, my friend. But Arctos, don't you think you've been wallowing in those memories too often these past few days? Rather than putting your efforts into sarcasm, Ratatos, you should care more about today's ceremony. I felt that something was off ever since I woke up this morning. Don't you think Kurganda's statue looks a little different compared to yesterday? Oh no, ignore the face, it's totally not slimmer than it was last time you saw it. You browntails were in charge of managing construction, so you'd better think up a real good explanation for the Saintess. Fucking chair. No need to worry about that. That was like a year ago, a bit early to call it good old days. Yeah. To be fair, it was 3 years ago, according to him. Oh, wait, or did it say these years ago? And I need to check because I'm... Oh, maybe not. Where did I get... Yeah, 3 years ago. Okay. You know, 3 years ago, good old days. I mean... I don't know. Wait, did I read that bit? Oh yeah, no. Hey, Arctos, why does your face look like that? Did that strawberry asher rough you up or something? Well, it's like you said, no need to worry about that. Oh wait, is there actually a red eye there, or is that just always been there? That girl's real feisty, just like Tatiana, just like me. Not bad. It's too hot and its fucking chair keeps dropping. It's definitely the heat. I think it's making something not quite fit properly. Patriarch, matriarch, everyone is present. Good. Let the people below know that they can head to their designated positions and wait for now. The Thaintis will arrive soon. If anyone dares to tarnish the Brown Tail name at this critical moment, I won't be showing any mercy. Understood, matriarch. Wait a moment, Yucatan. Why is it just you? Where's your wife? You mean your sister? It's almost time already. Why is she not here? Russ told me this morning that she had a few things to do. She wants to prepare a pleasant surprise for you, matriarch. I feel like that's going to be an uh-oh for Ratatos. The slimming happened with the literal divine blessing of the person in charge. Yes, exactly. Not to mention said divine being happening to let them get close enough in the first place. I'm not sure if I should look forward to a pleasant surprise from her. What could possibly be more important than today's ceremony? Can she pick a better time to give me a headache? I'll be sure to message her right away. Don't worry, matriarch. Russ is very clear on what she should be prioritizing. I should have figured that you'd be on your wife's side. Duh. Alright. She's no longer a girl. Guess I'll just have to wait and see what this pleasant surprise of hers is. Anyway, if she's off doing things, why didn't she bring you along? Uh-oh. Russ already has someone helping her out. Speak of the goddess? Everyone, her time has come. The Saintess arrives. Please, lend me your ears. It has been 3 years since the Vinebear Court has recognised those foreigners who wish to devote themselves to Kiraganda. Kirag today is capable of incredible growth and development, but that growth rests on the shoulders of the good folk here today, alongside the toil and devotion of all Kirag's people. Fluffy-tailed. I believe that you all have seen the change that has come to Kirag these past few years with your own eyes. Kiraganda has given her people, her children, a challenge, and we have already given her our answer. Yet these past 3 years are merely the beginning. In the coming days, we will meet with more complex situations than ever before, and Kirag will see its fair share of trials and tribulations. However, I hope that we all believe that Kiraganda will not abandon this land of Kirag, and neither will she abandon the lives of those who live upon it, for she so loves her people. This great statue of Kiraganda will be the main symbol of Kirag to the outside world. At the same time, it would become a vessel for all the love that her faithful show to her. Hereafter, one need not climb Mount Carlin to make one's devotions to her. You need but face towards her during your prayers. Interesting, isn't it? Technically like how... Isn't that how Islam works? Don't you have to pray in the direction of where that cube is from where you are, wherever in the world? Or is that a different religion? That might be a different religion. Or maybe there's other religions that do that as well, I'm not sure. But that's just interesting. Because it's quite a unique thing, or at least it's, to me, because I only know of one, probably more, I wouldn't be surprised, but it's quite an interesting method. It makes sense now as to why the statue's so big as well, though. It is my wish that the faith you have in her is not constrained by the trappings of ceremony. I believe that true faith has taken root in the hearts of all of Kirag's people. Now, I ask of you to walk with me. Walk with me under the gaze of Kuraganda towards the foot of her holy statue, where we will pray for her to bestow her blessings upon Kirag. By Kuraganda. By Kuraganda. By Kuraganda. The many voices by the lake that cry out Kuraganda's name blend and merge together. The saintess stands at the head of the crowd and takes the first step onto the ice. The frozen lake Shibidabida shines like a flawless gem when looked upon from afar. But only once you stand atop it will you see that this gem is covered in chips and cracks. The ice is covered in cracks, wending and waving across the surface, the endlessly churning waters beneath the ice surging about together. Under the dawn light, it is as if the soul of the lake itself was wandering about in an eternal cycle. In the eyes of the people of Kirag, such a sight was so beautiful as to be breathtaking. Kuraganda's statue steps across the cracks that seemed like they were carved by the biting winds, as if walking past a millennium's worth of Kirag's bitterly cold hardships, as if walking past its endless winter days. Because now, spring is just around the corner. I've only just realised how creepy that face is. I don't even know what it is, but it looks like a weird, smiley, creepy face. I'm not sure if my cursor's picked up on on stream, so that might be a bit weird if you can't see it right away, but still. How the hell are they not here yet? Are you kidding me? The communicator doesn't work. Didn't they say they'd be getting to Kirag last night, so they'd definitely catch the train today? Skeletons can't exactly frown. I mean, I wouldn't exactly expect them to smile either, to be completely fair. Calm down, Cirrus. There we go, that's how it's pronounced. Calm down. Phew. Okay, I've calmed down. The saintess needs to walk across the ice to the island, so the ceremony won't be starting quite so soon. I've still got time. Think about the look on Ratatos' face when this is all over. I've definitely got the time right, and punctuality is par for the course on that side. A little lateness is one thing. We won't be too late now, I'm sure. I think the train to Lake Shibidabida should be pulling into the station right now. Alright, let me see. The next train is arriving at... Why is it so late? Madam Cirrus, that train is a local that stops at every station. It's natural that it's somewhat delayed. I don't care if it's natural. I need that train to be here right now. Damn it all, I can't just sit here and wait. Get me in touch with the station master. I want that train sped up right away. If it doesn't need to stop, then it better not stop. Make sure it's going at full speed too. Imagine you're just on the train, you're waiting to, like, get off at one of the other towns in order to go to work, and then your train just sails on past because a bigwig has decided that the train needs to get to its final destination right away. I would be pissed. But, madam, if we do that, it would greatly inconvenience the passengers aboard the train. As long as they end up where they wanted to go, it should be fine, right? Well, yes, but... No buts. Monch. Wait, huh? Who's? Hello. Here, madam. I like the outfit. Was Monch in the previous event, or am I just drawing a complete blank here? Get in touch with the manager of Bang Bang Burn Beast for me. Get them to round up every single one of their free burn beasts right now. Right, okay, she was there in the last event. That's weird. What? I completely drew a blank the moment I saw her. It was like, mind went empty. I'm like, huh, person. Anyone waiting to get on that or on the train at the stations that it passes, get them a burden beast and take them wherever they want. Does the days without train-related incidents counter ever go into double digits, or do they have to count in minute? Yes, madam. Madam Cirrus, is this really alright? You got a problem with it? Right, thanks for reminding me. We'll need to prepare a small gift for everyone already on board the train. We'll call it a token of apology for disrupting their journey. Use the souvenirs that you sell on the trains for that. All expenses can go to Clan Browntail. No, wait. Put it on all my personal accounts. Yeah, I was gonna say, because could you imagine just Ratata in the distance, just like gets like a ping on her phone or something? It's just like, why the fuck is 1,000 whatever currency it is in Kirag has just come out of our account? Understood. It shall be done. Franks. Yes, there we go. Thank you for reminding me. I really like the purple armband. Oh, I hope that's enough. No, it's definitely enough. For sure. Uh-oh. Wasn't this place used in the Black Steel event as well? Or am I thinking of a different... Wait. Oh, that's drums. I thought it was distant explosions. Faster. Don't forget what we're here to do. In the back, keep pace. Yes, sir. Halt, gather up. Form up. Sir, reporting in. Second squad in formation, sir. Very good then. And third squad? Sir, reporting in. Third squad in formation, sir. Very good. Jack, have your squad bring up the rear. I want constant vigilance. Don't overlook a single enemy. I'm certain the BSW event used a different set piece of the background. Okay, I might be thinking of a different event, to be honest. I just remember there being an icy, snowy, town thing as well in the Black Steel one, because, where it was. But, actually, no, it wouldn't make sense because it was a base plate. Base plate? No, base plate's a character. City plate. This isn't, is it? I don't think, if I remember correctly. I like the music. Yes, sir. Good. Keep the spirits up. All squads, forward march. Yes, sir. I do want to say, though, I have a feeling the Victorian troops are somewhat, lacking in numbers. Because it was, what, 1,000 or so of them? And, yeah, that's a lot of soldiers, but if anyone knows the ratio for occupying a place, it's not really enough. I assume, though, if they're only looking to occupy a specific area, it probably would be fine. What are those Victorians up to now? Are they holding weapons? Surely not. Aren't they here to attend the ceremony or something? Have you ever seen them line up in formation like that before? It must be all just for show. 2,000, but it's not really about occupying, it's just about getting what's the statue. Yeah, that's the thing. If they're just looking for a specific thing, then yeah, 2,000 is more than enough. Because the statue's on, a small island in the lake, so yeah, that would be complete control. But I've got to say, I don't think they've got the same look to them as they did before. Like Kuraganda. Kuraganda protects us from harm. She's not going to do shit as long as you're out in the road. Get back into the buildings. Yeah, there we go. So they would have to take the island and hold the bridge, which actually is very favourable. Reporting in, sir. We've finished scouting ahead. The Saintess has already started leading everyone over to the island. Are our men all prepared? Yes, sir. All troops in formation, ready to commence operation at any time. Good. Keep them lined up and await my orders. Lake Silberneherze is, on a winter's day, truly one of Kuraganda's most beautiful sights. Who would have thought that the next time I clapped eyes on this wonder would be under circumstances like this? You've become much gloomier these days, Harold. I mean, that should be kind of obvious, considering what you guys are doing. It shouldn't be a surprise to you either. Have I? As they say, soft days make soft men. Lisbon, after a whole month of R&R, you're still able to swing your sword around? It's much heavier than I remember. How about you, Charles? It's a battlefield with Victorian soldiers. Cute, but answer the question. Not much else I can do. You're right. In the decades since I joined the army, never have I met a finer soldier than you all. Am I right, Charles? I think I'm gonna puke. But what else can I do? Give the order already, Harold. Forgive me, my friends. Oh, was Charles the sick one? I just realised. I was thinking nerves, but no, he's actually got oropathy, hasn't he? Alright, orders incoming. Everyone, forward march. Under the guise of building a statue of their goddess, the Kurags have been secretly transporting military goods under our noses. We will let them know the price of trying to make a fool of Victoria. Mission objective: destroy the statue of Kuraganda atop the island. Yes, sir. Ah! Train. What? The train won't be making further stops. Are you certain of this? Okay, understood. What's going on? Why didn't we stop at that station just now? I am truly incredibly sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, our train has run into a small operational issue. Until we arrive at the station at Lake Silberneherze, the train will be increasing in speed and will not be stopping at intervening stations. Not stopping? This is unacceptable. I'm meant to go off for sightseeing the next station. Me too. I was going to go and visit the local markets too. Why ever can't you stop the train anyway? We offer our deepest apologies for this inconvenience to everyone. As compensation, we have prepared for all our passengers a gift as a token of our apology. All passengers may freely pick a souvenir of your choice from our store aboard this train. Whether it's specialty cheeses or Bird and Beast blind box, it's all free of charge. Oh. Well, if there's compensation, I suppose that's alright. Oh, that's me. That's basically me. That's right. I ask all passengers to note that there is a limited amount of gift-wrapped mountain ice water, so if you would like some, please come as soon as possible. Alright. No need to go on any more than that. Okay, sure. Speed up the train, no stopping at the stations, whatever. Just give me one of those super expensive limited edition waters already. Hey, no cutting in line. Oh god, it's Black Friday all over again. Give me a water too. Oh, why are you here? Where did you go? Fair, whatever. I guess you're here now. Things sure are lively today. What could possibly be so urgent as to rush this train to Lake Silberneherze? Is it to deliver some mystery goods, or perhaps people? Either way, I believe I win this hand. The trains here have all been handled, madam. As per your orders, the premier train next arriving at Lake Silberneherze is now running at top speed. But are you sure that the guests you invited are aboard that train? It would be pretty fucking funny if they weren't. Of course I'm sure. It's just that if we happen to be wrong... No way, they're definitely on that train. In comes the doctor or whoever the guests are. I'm assuming it's the doctor. You can just imagine, like, they're just here at the station, like, right now, just like, oh, hey, what's all the commotion about? Just like, wait, if you're here, then the train. Monch, I must ask, do you know how many new relay stations we've built to ensure a smooth signal across all Kurag these past 3 years? I'm afraid I'm not quite sure. Well, you've just returned to Kurag, so I suppose it's natural for you not to know. So, listen up and remember this. In Browntail territory alone, we've built 5 of those top-of-the-line relay stations to ensure that the signal never breaks. Hello, Speedy. You've missed the mobilization of the Victorian forces and their encroachment towards the statue, and the train is now speeding up. But besides that, not really much. That many? Yep. We also called in some professionals courtesy of that doctor from Rhode Island to help out. Just to make sure that even amongst our many mountains, our communications will never be blocked. Technically speaking, if you have the radio stations on the highest peaks of the mountains, that offers the most coverage, if I remember correctly. Because obviously if you have them at the bottom of the mountain gets in the way and literally blocks the radio signal, so you have to have a relay station, or radio station in the modern day, up on the peak as well. I think. So no threats of significance, okay. Yeah, nah, just 2,000 to 3,000 British soldiers? Victorian soldiers? Same thing. What I'm trying to say is that, theoretically, As long as it's within Kirag's borders, there shouldn't be any sort of communications mishap. Aside from some special places. Oh, whoa. Special places? Can't figure it out. There... Could it possibly be the private rooms on the train, madam? Oh no, I shouldn't have said that. Bullseye. It's the private rooms on the train. More specifically, the private rooms on the premier train from the foot of Mount Carlin to Lake Silberneherze. It's a widescreen goddess. Oh god. That train was a special order from Victoria. As for the other trains that we have, they used that train as a prototyped copy. I mean, to study how to manufacture our own. The walls of the private rooms of that original train are inlaid with materials designed to isolate the occupants from disturbances from outside. So, naturally, they will cut off communication signals too. Kirag basically just has Putin's train, is what I'm getting at right now. The other trains don't have this feature because it would have drastically inflated construction costs. We know how much we hate inflation. I get it now. So what you're saying is, in determining if our guests are in Kirag already, the very fact that your communicator can't reach them tells us that they must be in that specific train's private rooms. That's amazing, madam. I'm learning so much about the trains as well. I feel like that's not necessarily the case. If they just didn't get on the train in general, you probably wouldn't be able to reach them if they're outside of the border still. Anyways, Kirag as it is now, and Kirag as it of a few years ago, couldn't be more different. Monch get some training. Oh god. I'm not going to ask where you've been these past few years, Monch. I love how the name's just Monch, just like nom. And I don't intend to pry into what you've been up to then. I don't even really care about why you didn't go back to that Gnosis either. But if you really want to be my assistant, then you better get used to the modern-day Kirag already. Ah, okay. So it does actually have a meaning. I'm just being silly. I want to munch. And you better not think that I'm still the same old Russ from 3 years ago. You hear me? Yes, madam. I'll do my best. Glad to hear it. Yeah? Why is there so many people outside? Hey, wait, aren't they? You just hear faint sounds of Rule Britannia. Or I guess Rule Victoria. Get back. I said get back. All of you, not a step closer. You... What the hell do you think you're doing? How dare you try to pull this stunt under Kiraganda's gaze? Don't even think about trying to ruin today's ceremony. Jack? That's you, isn't it, Jack? What are you playing at? See, I will say it wasn't a particularly smart idea in the long run to have the army intermingle with the natives because of that very moment. But then again, let's be honest, Harold didn't exactly want to do this in the first place, so it probably was by design. You've just had a bit too much to drink, right? A word of advice from me. Today's not the time to be making a ruckus. Go tell the others quick, Jack. Enough. I'm under orders to shoot dead the next person who steps forward. You know, back when you first showed up, people said that a bunch of foreign soldiers showing up in Kirag couldn't be up to any good. I didn't believe them. I even spoke up for you guys. It seems that I was blind this entire time. So this was your real purpose? To ruin our ceremony for Kirigander? To strike us down? Kirigander will not forgive you for this. You invite her wrath upon yourselves. Let her try. We were punished enough as it is a long time ago. Interesting. The Victorian soldiers seem to have a bit of the Russian soldier treatment at the moment in terms of that, in terms of the self-loathing depression. Oh, those are Victorian soldiers. Something's not right. They have their uniforms on, and they've got their weapons out too. Have they not always had their uniforms on? The weapons, I understand, though. It looks like there's been some sort of commotion outside. Please, hide yourself, madam. The black-haired girl is about to subconsciously hold out her arm to protect her employer. But before the words can even leave her mouth, Sierra proves to be a step ahead of her, covering her mouth with her own hand and pulling her into a corner. Shh! Don't say a word, Monch. We have to stay hidden. Need to stay hidden. Those Victorians, didn't they say they were just here to attend the ceremony? I guess they've finally shown their true colours. This operation of theirs seems pretty big. Also, the more I think about it, the more I realise just how stupid the thing is with all the different dukes. Because, like, okay, fine, dukes mess around with each other in Victoria, whatever. But, like, when something like this happens, surely people like Castor must realise that if things go wrong, they essentially ruin relationships between their entire country and whichever country they're messing around with, right? That bitch Ratatos wouldn't know about this trouble yet, would she? Madam, they have a whole squad of thingamajigs stationed there, alongside Degen from Harlan Trade. If trouble reaches them, it probably won't last very long. Hello, Merwind. Yeah, you're probably right. And with Yucatan there, my sister will be safe. Yeah, but Keurig doesn't really have a military, so from an international standpoint, they can just bully Keurig as they like, and Keurig can't do shit back because they rely on Victorians more. I suppose. It's still a bit weird, though, just in general. And I think just, like, out of principle, it's a little bit weird, because, I suppose I'm probably just thinking too much about the real-world equivalent, because in the real-world equivalent, obviously, it was quite feudal. You had all of the different dukes and earls and such that led to each individual part of the UK as if it was its own little corner of the world. But foreign policy was still always done by, like, you know, a specific person or group of people. So it's just... I mean, unless it turns out Castor is that specific person who represents all of Victoria, maybe that is why they're the one doing this. But I kind of doubt that. I don't know, it just seems very brash, even if it is a newer country that doesn't quite have its shit together military speaking. It's still just, I don't know, it's just very rash. Though they are also post-war, so it could also just be, you know, things like, not necessarily desperation, but just like a general incompetence and lack of understanding as to what's going on and what they need to do and such. Probably a lot of infighting amongst them. Traitor to the True Queen Siege. That's another thing. I wonder what happened there. Because obviously it's all speculation, they don't mention it. But because, you know, obviously it'd be spoiler if they flat out say anything, but I do wonder if Siege becomes queen, or is it queen or is it just king? I think if I remember correctly it was just king for some reason. But anyway, yeah, it'd be interesting if that's the case. And I wonder how that would happen as well. What would happen to Caster? I'd be surprised if Caster's still actually around, but then I guess you can't necessarily just get rid of a Duke. Anyway, I'm starting to yap. Madam, allow me to escort you somewhere safe. I'll go assist Sir Yucatan next. No, I have to stay here and watch them. If things get even more heated here, at least I can stop them for a bit. The Sarkaz took over Victoria completely and only Caster calls what's left of her domain Victoria. I mean, that's possible, but I kind of think no. Just because I struggle to see the main plot going that way. Primarily because doing so would imply that the Sarkaz win, and I don't think it's possible for the Sarkaz to win while at the same time us winning. Like, it just wouldn't work. We have to defeat Teresis, and if we defeat Teresis, the entire thing crumbles. Because they're not exactly a particularly cohesive unit, are they, the Sarkaz? They're sort of being held together by Teresis at the moment, and Teresa. I know, but still fun to imagine. Yeah, it definitely would be a dark turn for it to go that way. But as far as I'm aware from what we've heard from other events, Victoria returns to its natural state. Hopefully with Siege's Queen, I do hope that's the case. Primarily just because I want someone to kick Caster's ass after this fails spectacularly. Anyway. Look, don't worry. Nothing's going to happen to me. Even if I did get found, considering I'm an envoy between Kirag and Victoria for multiple cooperative business ventures, I doubt they'll have the stones to mess with me. That is a good point. Yeah, definitely. Oh, that reminds me, after this next event, once I finished it, I'm going to have to find time to wriggle in the rest of that chapter, because I haven't finished the chapter. I still haven't finished the last Victoria chapter. Blimey. Madam, don't look at me like that. I already told you. I'm not the same as I was 3 years ago. Okay, listen up, Monch. I've got something I need you to do. Yes, madam. You only need to say the word. That NCOGs definitely has some sort of contingency plan up his sleeve for these Victorians. Considering how big this commotion's grown, I can only suspect that something's gone wrong with that development of his men. With the deployment of his men, rather. Jesus. Whew. Monch, I need you to investigate things for me. Just in general, just things. Go check up on what's happening over there, and if you get the chance, make the Silver Ashes owe the Brown Tails a favour. Would be pretty nice. Making, sorry, I didn't see the make bit. Take your time. That's but I rather you look after your mental health. Yeah, thank you. We also have the Shu event running right now. Yes, that's what I plan on doing next. After that will be the R6 collab part 2. Oh, yes. And part 1 is around at the same time as well, isn't it? Or is it only the characters? Because if it's both events running as well, that's going to be quite busy for me. Because last I heard of it anyway, which was months ago now, was that both stories are going to be available. I think part 1 gets a rerun before part 2 release. Okay, that's good. So that's going to be quite thingy. Yeah, understood. I'll get it done. What? Something on my face? Madam, you really have grown. Who asked you? You're a lot younger than me, you know. Stop acting like you're the big sister. Really, you should be treating me like the big sister. Can I really call you sister? We'll discuss this later. Monch is adorable, yeah. Alright, get moving already. Yes, madam. Also, I really like the eyeshadow. It's From time to time, Dejun thinks back to 10 years ago. Back then, every winter she would accompany in CODs all across Kirag. That young man who had just returned to his home country was not yet the deeply experienced person he was now. Still quite underripe, he had to do many things himself, rushing about to and fro. I really need to change that stream elements thing, because it is very outdated. One could say that he was hot-headed, hot-blooded rather. Maybe, I don't know. Or one could say that he had ambition. Dejun remembered that in the winter of that year, Ensiodes brought all his plans and stratagems that he had devised in Victoria back to Kirag, where he single-handedly founded Carlin Trade. Of the few people who could be called his confidants, she would have just barely been within their number. And thus, she found herself staying in this cold, snowy land. If you were to ask her where she has long gotten used to the... while she has long gotten used to the bitter chill, she does not actually like the cold weather very much. Kazimierz's winters were cold indeed. I would hope so, considering it's Poland. Those days, she would make her way through many matches of the majors in winter. This made the KGCC very unhappy, but whether or not her opponent was happy was never in her mind. Going back even further, Lithanian's winters, too, were cold. Was Kirag's winter not colder than Kazimierz's or Lithanian's? Dejun stamped her foot upon the ice's surface, frost crystals breaking loose under her step. Thinking back to old times? I remember that year when we had just arrived back in Kirag from Victoria. We had crossed the Lake Silberneherze as well. But back then it was because all the roads had been snowed out. With no railroads or mechanised shovels for vehicles specifically designed to handle snow, we were barely able to maintain a handful of flat main streets. Under such heavy snowfalls, and with Carlin Trade only barely having started up, and goods piled up behind snowbanks blocking the road, and the trade routes stagnated, we were on the brink of coming to a complete stop. In the end, it was you who helped Leonis gather up his burden beasts, and by using them to carry those goods across Lake Silberneherze, we were able to alleviate that particular crisis. You talk too much in CODs. I assume that you would have shown more solemnity in light of the ceremony, not to take it as an opportunity to babble about old happenings. My apologies. Some things are simply too unexpected in the moment, and so it is hard not to constantly bring them back to the forefront of one's mind, especially during an interesting time such as these. Who would have expected the Great Black Knight to be so proficient at riding burden beast? And CODs, what? If you are curious as to why I know how to ride a burden beast, then you need only ask. I learnt when I was young. In Lithanian? In Lithanian. If there is ever an opportunity, I could bring the both of you to do some sightseeing. It's not a very exciting place, so don't expect too much. How is it compared to Kirag? It's not as good. Kurag is nowhere near as cold. Huh. This is the first time I've ever heard you give such an idealistic assessment. That's enough out of you. Alright, we've arrived. Everyone, please come forward. With Kurgander as our witness, the ceremony shall soon begin. Let us pray. It appears that some of our more excitable guests can't wait for their cue. But who was causing that clamour there? I didn't need this pain in my ass right now. Yucatan, why the hell isn't your wife here yet? I just got in contact with her, and she says she's nearly here. What do you mean by nearly here? Listen, you get back in touch with her right now. Tell her to go to the moons or something, as far away as possible. Just don't come over. What's going on over here? What's all the commotion about? Sir, those Victorians don't look as friendly as they usually do. I saw that they've got some pretty big weapons of some kind, and they look real enough to me. No, it's just airsoft, don't worry. It's Nerf crossbows. I knew that they were going to stab us in the back. Let them come, oh. It's a good thing I told the Parlor-ish boys to... Parlor-Roach boys to prepare for this. Well, we meet them in battle. Okay, calm your jets, Klingon. Hold, Sir Arctos. But, Saintus! Saintus, Sir Siodes. The Victorian troops have broken through our guards, who were maintaining order. They draw near. Send out several squads and prioritize the safety of the commoners about. Any commoners about. Yes, Saintus. They've made their move. It appears they have several squads of their own lined up to approach us. And at their head is that Viscount. What's the plan? Where are Weiss and Matterhorn? I haven't received any news from them since last night. They should have been watching the movements of any Victorian army very closely, and an operation of this size would have prompted a report by now. Unless they had no way of sending that report. Beware Victorians, even as they bear gifts. I was about to say as they gare biffs. Despite my belief that I had managed to establish a strong enough relationship with Viscount Craigovon, it appears that we have not been able to move his heart from its course. This is no time to stand around licking your wounds, Siodes. They are already far past the point of pretending to be friendly with us. They are professional Victorian troops, whether using drone arrays to bombard us or hiding their casters in the crowd. Their ruthless efficiency is clear. Damn, I wonder what that is being inspired by, because it's certainly not being inspired by the old British forces. This is still what they consider pressure, and they have not... Oh, they have not begun to use force just yet. They've not begun to use force just yet? I don't know. And I assume you have some sort of plan for this. We cannot allow them to disrupt the ceremony. Not only will the Vinebear Court and the Free Clans suffer a drastic blow to their reputations, but they will also lose the trust of the people of Kurag, alongside the respect of those outside its borders. We would be caught in truly dire straits. Not exactly the easiest task. Indeed. You sound concerned, Siodes. We must not allow a true war with Victoria to begin. We need only wait until the next distinguished guest arrives. I would laugh if the Doctor arrives, but it's like with Siege. But no, they wouldn't do that because obviously, if Siege were here, it would be a complete spoiler as to how the main event would go. But still, could you imagine how funny it would be? Like, cast of sending troops over here, and then suddenly in comes Queen of Victoria if she does. Obviously, they wouldn't do that. It would be an absolutely massive spoiler, but I think that would be absolutely hilarious. But at the very least, we cannot allow them to get any closer to the statue of Kirigander. But they're pretty much already here. I'll go stop them. Now's not a good time for jokes. Has she ever really cracked a smile except for like one scene? You should know her better by now. They've got at least 2,000 troops out there. How exactly are you going to fight them alone? It'll be easier than me having to handle you after a night out, Gnosis. Like I said, this really isn't a good time to joke around. Who do you think, out of the many people that he knows, Insiodis always calls first? Oh, you're going to get yourself killed. If you don't want me to be killed, then you should put in some more work, Gnosis. Oof. Dejan, I'm sure you're already aware of the risks at hand. I need you to hold them back, at least until we've settled our arrangements here. At this time, Karl and Kirag, cannot assist you in the slightest. This is to be the sole work of the Black Knight. Are you able to do it? This wouldn't be the first time. You all wait here. It's not good to hold your anger in, Gnosis. The two of you have talked it over. I'm not one to make a fuss. At least while Dejan holds back those Victorians, I can send out men to find Weiss and Matterhorn, as well as our distinguished guests. If they arrive a bit sooner than expected, things might just start looking up for us. I'll leave that to you then. News of what is happening here will spread fast. I should be bracing myself right now, so that I can deal with these beasts who saw fit to bear their fangs. Hark! They come. Either there's a person called Hark, or they just went completely Shakespearean on me just now and literally just said Hark. Which is something I have not heard of since learning Shakespearean in like year 9. Halt! Everyone gather up. Get back into formation. Yes, sir. This fog's mighty thick. Strange. Have the not made in their move yet? Why are they just watching from all around the sides? Sure, our operation might have caught them with their pants down, but surely they're going to put up some resistance, right? Well, you kind of just... Did you not notice the big red flag you just said by them watching from the sides? Unless you don't mean that literally, but if you mean that literally, that means they're flanking you. Don't be so quick to dismiss them. The head of the Silverash clan is one wily fellow. Kirag can't afford to go to war with Victoria, but us? We can pretty much take a crap atop the holiest of holies. It's a real funny thing, diplomacy. The way things are now, I don't think they've got any room to play defense at the moment. Well, you won't know until you give them a poke. Let some other men advance for now. If the Saintus and Clan Silverash still don't react, then we continue with our original plan and prepare to bombard the statue of Kirigander. Understood. Wait, it looks like there's movement on their side. No, that can't be. They've only got one person over there? Shit, it's Star Wars The Last Jedi all over again. It's her, The Black Knight. Of course, it could only be her. Although I had guessed this sort of thing might happen, seeing the real deal with your own eyes is enough to make a man's heart drum with excitement. A lone woman holding back 1,000 soldiers. Wow. This really is right out of one of those knight novels. You're joking. There's no one person who's got the strength to resist a whole army. The Zeadans can't. The Silver Lance Pegasi can't. Not even one of those devil's royal courts could. I feel like that's a bit bullshit. I'm fairly certain that Vampire King could absolutely wipe the floor with 2,000 soldiers. In fact, I'm fairly certain that happened multiple times with multiple of those kings during the chapter we are currently playing. We've seen this sort of thing before ourselves, Harold. I know, of course I do. You might kill us, but you won't kill any more. But do we really have to pay this price to get what we want? Our army is a machine, consuming an unending amount of fresh meat just so that it can lurch forward once more. Right now, there's just us old boys left. They're kind of doing the Sun Tzu thing. I think it's Sun Tzu anyway. Or like one of the generals anyway in China, where an army goes to attack a fort, but when they get there, there's only one person just sort of playing an instrument, and the person in charge of that army thinks, no, there's no way one person can win, it has to be a trap, and so they leave. We can't bear the cost of it much longer. You know me, Lisbon. I've always been a bit of a miser. And a miser's heart weeps at every coin lost. As long as I keep bubbling up to the top of my mind, I can hardly sleep soundly at night. As soldiers, we've got no choice. You're right, it's all but Victoria. Send the order down. All men, prepare for war. I'll take the lead, and I'll bring along my top brass to meet the legendary Black Knight face to face. Yes, sir. Hey, Harold, I'm not going to stop you now, but I've got to ask, how's it feel having to face down the Black Knight that you like so much in the ring? Not great. Ah, okay, it's a different strategist. Reminds me of one time during my youth, when I was getting teased at one of the Duke's parties. I ended up drinking an entire cup's worth of straight shots at once. A lot of bitterness, and a lot of burning, and a lot of retching. Enough to make you faint, but I will say that I also feel a bit of excitement. Harold Craigavon looked towards Kirag's endless snowscape. All about him, frost blanketed the icy surface of Lake Silberneherze. Mist gathered in the air, and in the distance, the statue of Kuraganda loomed, her face fuzzy and indistinct. The chill extending all about her feet made people feel as though they had truly entered the realm of a snow god. Why did they capitalize the her there? The frozen surface of the lake looked as though it was a great shard of rock sugar covered in ice. I completely forgot about rock sugar. In this unreal, dreamlike environment, these men wearing their valor on their sleeve stood out like a sore fun, and across from them, a vague silhouette appearing within the dense fog that laid thick in the air. Their adversary walked forward, step by step, treading atop the ice and snow, towards them. It felt like with every step, she commanded the strength to stop 1,000 men in their tracks. This is as far as you go, and you will go no further. If you wish to watch the ceremony, you may watch from here alongside me. I would be truly honoured to have you accompany me, Madame Degen. By all rights, I should accept your kind offer, but as a most trusted partner, Her Grace is very concerned about Kurag's development issues, and has given me orders to approach the base of Kuraganda so as to show our good faith. Concern armed to the teeth and carrying cannons is a very rare sight indeed. Force of circumstance, I do hope you understand. Lately there has been a most unlawful force at play, wantonly moving prohibited materials about Kurag under the guise of constructing the statue of Kuraganda. According to our intelligence, the stronghold of this force happens to be exactly under this holy statue of yours. And so, Her Grace was so concerned about this issue that she commissioned me and my men overnight to investigate. A likely story. It is, in the end, Her Grace's intent. Who could say if there truly is such a dangerous power underneath the feet of Kuraganda's statue? But if the great Saintess and Sir Siodes were to meet with unfortunate accidents, it would be far too late for regret by then. Nobody would like to see something like that happen. Am I right, Madame Degen? I don't really care what you say. And naturally, what we do here is none of your business. The people of Kurag will handle their own issues. We don't need outsiders to order us about. I'm afraid that's that, then. I'm truly sorry it came to this, but this is where I must carry out my duty. Also, please excuse my curiosity, Madame Degen, but considering you managed to hold your tongue so well while I jabbered on, you don't plan on causing delay for us, do you? You talk far too much. Well, when you're at my age, it's hard not to be a bit of a windbag. But as for you, Madame Degen, as I've now learned, you're not the sort of person to indulge in mindless chatter. Nope. Ah, there we go, the two swords. That's why I hate overly chatty smartasses. The woman says no more, slowly unsheathing her long swordbreaker from about her waist. The scraping of the metal lets out an ear-piercing shriek, ending with the sound of it burying its point into the ice. Ooh. A sound that induces a trembling in the men that none are able to stymie? I don't know. So that's the Elden Ring DLC. Also, I like that they've done the sun thing. I forgot what it's called when it's like that. Since they got the intended message, there is not much more need for words. This manner is more to my taste. I'll say it again. You will go no further. None may enter. Damn, that was over an hour. I forget how long these last ones go. You shall not pass. Oh, damn. I like how that was literally the punch sound you get in Indiana Jones. Ah! Watch out! Without Stetson, it's high noon. Fucking ego there. Next. Yeah. Reporting in, sir. With Colonel Harold's support, we've brought all our current casualties back to safety. However, as things stand for us, we still don't have any way to strike the enemy where it hurts. Charge! Make use of your arms. The enemy is one soldier. Surround her. But, sir, wouldn't it be better for us to divert around her? She's an army of one. She's got no hope of holding us if we widen the front. You gormless idiot. Was that meant to be a revelation to me? Well, then why... They didn't give you eyes in your head for nothing. They didn't give him eyes at all. You saw what our men on Kiriander's doorstep were attempting, didn't you? All of them as smart as you, off to break the perimeter from somewhere else. Compare that to the rest. Are they in as near as bad a state? Sir, you're not telling me... Private, I don't know what the hell I could be telling you. Duck! Gah. Oh, she's here already. My hand slipped. Done gossiping? Where in the hell did you get here? When, rather? Just now. If you were counting on a few dozen men there to stop me, then you really weren't ready for me. Tch, monster incarnate. A few dozen won't do the trick, or surely a few hundred will. How about over 1,000? You'll learn. In the face of a real army, there is no army of one. Clench your teeth. What? Keep your mouth shut when I hit you. Why are you teaching him sparring lessons while beating the shit out of him? I know why she's saying that. If you get hit with your mouth open, you're likely to cut your tongue out when your mouth inevitably seizes up on itself. So you should always clench your mouth or have teeth guards when you get hit. Yeah, there you go. You don't want to bite your tongue. A bitter slice of wind whistles through. 1 against 2,000 should be the pinnacle of despair. Her golden eyes tell of no such qualms, stern and still and steady. She is the predator without dispute. She is the ruler over this battlefield. Slight the affairs of one Miss Degen, dare to even begin to scorn her, and you too are an affront to her. You'd best hope your own life meant as little to you. Huh? Steady now, Madame Degen. If my subordinates have cocked up talks with you, then it falls to me to apologise in their stead. Oh? You? And how long can you shield them for? Well, might I suggest until I die a soldier's death? I'm no match for your namesakes. Clearly I'm not the horns to lock with you in a fight. Well, no, you have cat ears. Do you recall, Madame Degen, when I asked after your name? There we go. I no longer see any time like the present. Might I be elucidated? If I can... I know you're posh and all, but use smaller words, please. I'm too common for this language. You have the guts to stall me? Two of a mind can spare a word in no man's land. It is done, you know. It's a done thing. I barely even remember my real name. You can pretend I never had one. Plenty of people in Lifanian's ruined streets without a name or a home. I'd heard tell of your Lifanian birth, but never had I known that to be your life story. I once read in the dailies how you pilgrimed home there. Adulation of the masses, dinners with the upper crust. Throw a trophy at a burden beast and watch them love it too. And they don't tell the difference. Don't let it fool you. It's not a place where names change anything. No one is going to ask you when you're down in the gutter with the wastewater. Yet, you've a name with such power. Power? Not exactly. It was a sunny day, and Gendarmerie Patrol rounded up everyone with no place to go in the corner. One of them was carrying a strange weapon I'd never seen before. No point, no edge. No fine combat technique, no deep methods to it. No simpler way to bludgeon, no part was anything of mention. I watched as he took the thing to anybody who tried to resist, and caved in their skulls. From that moment on, it's been clear to me what I have. Not a code or a creed or a technique, nothing that sounds nice out loud. It's violence. Essentially, she's... Oh, what's the name of the class? I can't think of the one. I'm drawing a blank. Barbarian. Like, if I had to say something, I would say she's not a fighter, she's a barbarian. Because, like, you know, there's no, like, school of combat or anything, it's just, I have weapon, I beat shit out of you. Berserker? Yeah, I'd say, yeah, Berserker Barbarian would definitely work. For that day, I named myself. I am what I wield. She is one with the Force, and the Force is with her. There's a Minoan school of thought. Where they hold violence and victory as sisters, the two are inseparably close. They make one another. I look at you, and I could be convinced. Madame Degen, if you're violence in the flesh, like you say, then who, exactly, is your victory dedicated to? And finally, one last quibble from me, though I do think it may not be worth much in the asking. That Gendarmerie who first enlightened you, was victory a sister to him too? I did like his Degen. I did like his Degen. Good to use, but broke too fast. Just like you, Craigvan. Your arm's almost gone. Hush hush, Madame Degen. Spare me the truth. I do happen to be command of my own regiment. A little dignity, if you please. Were the clock turned back 30... no, just 20 years, I'd only be too glad your opponent... there we go. He's basically just being the Black Knight from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. But as it stands, and though I hate to admit it, the reality is all too obvious. I'm one of the old ones now. You don't look it. Hey, I've been thinking that this entire time. Ah, you think so too? Then I take it back. See? I've been telling them all, my mind's as sharp as ever. God damn it. It's just this blasted prosthetic leg. The socket always stings on rainy days. Where have I heard that before, where the joints of a prosthetic leg aches when it rains or something? I feel like I've heard that from a character before. Let's talk. How long until you give? How long until I give is hardly important. What matters is, Madame Degen, how long until you give? You can try me and see. Now both sides have made their move. It seems Degen can still bear out for the moment. Harold is saving his strength, and his bombers and casters are all about but smelling the roses. Your wine may not have been wasted after all in CODs. What of Weiss and Matterhorn? I've sent a team of Shiverdaba to find them. Given what reports have returned so far, the two were likely taken by surprise. Viscount Craigavon wouldn't place them in mortal danger. That takes senility, and he has none. We can only hope. Our people are en route to the station to stand by. They'll send us word immediately once they intercept. May it be that our guests arrive on time. What are the merchants that just contacted you? Oh, they won't be too daring for now. Gnosis, pass word on to the Saintess for me. You can save that step. I'm right here, if you have something to say. Say it to me in person, Sir Siodes. Saintess. The Silver Ashes are disgraced to have allowed such a spiral of events on ceremony grounds. Once the ceremony is over, I will personally take myself to Vinebear Court to apologise to you, Saintess. But for now, I fear the ceremony will need to be postponed for another while. As it should. Your message is loud and clear, Sir Siodes. If there is anything I can do, I ask you to continue to come to me directly, and not exploit that my own conscience might force me to see you first. Saintess, pray thy benevolence. Praise, rather. But you and the court's devotees must be prudent right now. After you resume the ceremony yourself, Saintess, that will suffice to appease the people. Dejan's strength Dejan's strengths need no introduction. A promise from her is exceedingly rare, and in the event she makes one, it's never broken. I think we should give her our full confidence. Is your confidence that Dejan can fight 1 against 1,000, or that she has a disregard to die valiantly in perfect service to your schemes? Dejan is ahead confronting the Victorians, and I know her mentality. She holds that, her own reputation aside, the slate with Kirag can still be wiped clean should anything goes wrong. Wait, did she tell you this herself? She defends Kirag's dignity as one of her plain, ordinary citizens. Saintess, do you believe that I bluntly ordered her, provoked her? Even I might say she's changed some, thus I've trusted her this once. I've gambled on her. Had I not, you might have watched that affable Viscount lose his life to a few panicked tourists. Is that basically his way of saying that she's holding back on him at the moment? We gamble for a best case scenario. Gamble. I have always considered the success or failure of anything to hinge on one's own grasp and not entreaties to God. To gods. Well, it's only one god that they worship, so same thing. Nothing goes unaccounted for. I put all the chips down, I see it through, win or lose. I've never complained about it. But Sir Siodes, unclasp your hands. You've bruised yourself. I ask you to pray for Dejan, Great Satis. Are they Great? I think I said Great Satis. Weiss. Wake up, Weiss. Matterhorn? Where? Kiss so, baby. Shit. The Victorians are changing it up. Their goal can't be that simple. We have to contact the Master. Stay still, Weiss. If they have managed to subdue and lock up both you and me, then our squad's people can't have escaped either. I've tried, but brute strength alone isn't going to free us. It's light outside. It looks like it's day already. Where are the Victorians? All gone. Unfortunately, they've probably swarmed the ceremonial grounds. Engi. Matterhorn, help me out here. What do you need? I hide a razor in my shoe's upper. Hopefully not literally in the shoe's upper, otherwise you'd cut yourself. If you can just take it out, Matterhorn, and toss it to me. Don't be insane. What are you using that razor for? In your position? Do you not value your hands? I have to try. The master gave me this mission. I couldn't and I couldn't complete it. There we go. And if that's forced him into a passive situation, then in any case, even if I'm too late and he doesn't need it, I'm still going to redeem what I've lost. What isn't lost, rather. I have to make up for my disappointment. I suppose you're right. Matterhorn heaves his body around, lying his fingers over the curve of Weiss's boot. But what follows betrays Weiss's hopes. He doesn't toss the razor over, but instead pinches the paper-thin tool of murder between his fingers, and, with great effort, strains and slashes at the rope over Weiss's wrists. In its tenuous grip, the blade slips down between his fingers and cuts into their pulp. Ugh. Oh no, that hurts. Ah, no, I just realised where that is. Ah! Vivid red trickles down his wrist. Matterhorn! Your hand! He'll be fine. It's just a scratch. You were going to do the same thing, weren't you? You do have a point, Weiss. The Master's expecting us. We can't leave him waiting too long. Hello, JD. GD, not JD. Oh, I'm terrible at the letters of my own language. Just give me one moment, and I can get this rope cut. With Gothan. Matterhorn. I mean, it's pretty dumb language. True! Who's there? I'm not your enemy. Sorry, you two were having a moment, weren't you? Don't say it like that. Monch? Didn't you leave Kirag? About that. Well, I'll explain later. Madame Thura sent me out to scout. That's how I found you all tied up in this Victorian camp. Where are the others? I already set them free. Anyway, both of you, get going. The Victorians kicked off a battle at Lake Sibidibda. Is she going to be a drone caster? I don't know, she has a crossbow. So... I don't know. Interesting. Are there any sniper roles that use drones? Not necessarily as like part of their archetype or anything, but just as in like part of their skill. Perhaps it could be something like that. Maybe she's one of those that can shoot all across the map when the skill's active because of the drone. Or she could become a caster and they just forego the crossbow. Like the next time we see her, she uses a staff instead. Anyway, we need to be there as soon as we can. Damn it, she can't hold for long. As if I can sit here and look on. You get back here, Arctos. Do you seriously think you have the monopoly on righteous anger, Arctos? We wish we could step in. If your eyes are shot, then try using your brain. Could be a tactician vanguard. True. You acting will definitely ruin things. Stooping behind others so I can feel sorry for myself runs counter to the Palarich clan's blood. I can't bear to see this. Bear. Bear to see it, you baby. Someone here is having a harder time watching than you, I guarantee. 10 years that degen's lived in Kirag, hasn't she? Just to be some sacrificial pawn here? If today in Syrtis can't settle all this, then no amount of achievement, no spoil for Kirag could ever convince me to lend him an ear again. I'm far from the grand actor the rest of you would be. I cannot be as calm as any of you are. And it's too little too late for that. All you and I can do now is believe in her. They really are drumming up the main character energy for Degen, aren't they? It's like the full-on anime where, you know, the main character does like the several episodes long fight, and meanwhile all the allies are just watching. I won't be arranging treatment for your wounded hands, then. Remember to hide it with gloves when time comes. Also, I imagine the Silberneherze report aligns with your gut. We can't count on Degen lasting much longer. Has the fight actually started yet? If you mean like her fighting Harold, then yes. And the 2,000 odd soldiers. She's no longer evading. She's acting how she used to in her Silberneherze competition days. Lake Skibbity, oh god. I still can't believe they're making a fucking movie about that. Why? It was already 100 videos to me. And then they had the goal to send a DMCA to Gary's mod because of it. Anyway, only afterwards. Afterwards, as she fled the assassins with you, she amended that habit. I feel like they may run into some copyright issues doing that. Yeah, they did. To be completely fair, when we did find out about it, it had already happened and had already been resolved. But still, it's just so funny how those production companies constantly think they can just suddenly copyright claim anything that they have ownership of, when in reality, they can't, because they don't own the face on that fucking toilet. It's a fucking Half-Life character. Why does it even exist? Anyway. I'm not gonna go into it. I'm not gonna start ranting about it, not in this. Any lack of care by her at that point, and you'd die sooner than she did. Quite. Still no word from your end? None. My investigators already returned. They're sure your guest boarded the train in question. To Lake Skibbity? If anything, it should have arrived just as the ceremony rounds down. Happy Birthday had a wonky status for a while. Yeah, but at least in that sense, Happy Birthday was public. So it could be copyrighted. It shouldn't be, but it can be. It's one of those things. But at least that one somewhat makes sense. Kind of the same as the SCP things, where that Russian prick suddenly copyrighted everything, including the designs for the famous SCPs. Or specifically the Peanut one, the Weeping Angel one. And that's why the official one is now a different one. Because unfortunately you can do that in most countries. You can just copyright something that is public. And it's annoying. Anyway, as it is, it will still take some time until that train arrives. I see. No, sis, never have I feared any wager. Every step I take, that I've ever taken, I've staked it all. This time is no different. See, now, normally that's how you end up with no money after a round in Las Vegas. I know. I believe myself to be sufficiently prepared. And yet, I find my patience is made of poorer stuff. Thank you for telling me what's on your mind, and I know what you want to hear me say. I'll say it for you. If you want to ensure the Black Knight's life, or you don't believe she can last until the end, then give the order now. I can tell you, there are still odds of success. The archers and casters at our call are best of the best. Blow up the lake's surface, create confusion, and draw the civilians and soldiers both into Midwinter's icy pocket. And Siodes, the decision lies with you. Whatever you do, I will support it. But whatever you do, you carry the consequences in kind. Those consequences are no simple political game. You might fail to even bear them. That I can determine for you. One quick question. If it were you, then the Great Winter Swim would already be in full swing. Let's trust in Degen. Trust she won't fail. Did it say full? Oh, full. I mean, to be fair, full, fail, same difference in this context. At some unknown point, the first wound appears on her body. It lies about her shoulder, a slash over her suit, an imperceptible trace of blood drawn. Compared to the kinds of wounds she's used to, this one's not worth no mention. Degen fells a few soldiers about her. Ironically, the subtle sting only sharpens her heady mix of fear. Her eyes strike into you. She makes her movements that much more steely cold. The second wound is brought by Originium arts. An average caster means nothing to Degen, but the numbers advantage mutates the nature of the Originium arts efficiency. Wait, is that efficiency? Efficacy? I don't know what that word is. The casters among the troops cast behind their human wall. Fire, ice, and thunder burst forth in unison with staggering momentum. Degen flings her weapons, running one of the caster's shoulders clean through, while she stubbornly approaches through the full length of their arts' range. Efficacy. Like effectiveness. Oh, they could have just said effectiveness. Anyway. And plows straight into the soldier's midst. That puts an end to that display. The third wound comes from the artilleryman aim a third ballista volley at her. An opponent armed to the teeth is no fear of Degen's, but with limbs less than free, and ballistae pestering her in spades, it does get a little annoying to cope. A shell slips through and lands a scorch mark on her abdomen. Her skin is seared in an instant, but hardly any blood comes. That's good, all things considered. Degen is under no impression she'll lose. Fitz is not sure she has enough blood to last much longer. The fourth wound, the fifth. She loses track. Counting them is a pain. Hello, Red. It's not enough. Again. Oh, well, he goes down. Lisbon. Charles, withdraw Lisbon to the rear. You're staunch. You staunch his bleeding. I'll be right there with first aid. I do like, as a leader, he's in the thick of it. She's giving out. Now's our chance. Charge! Oh, you fools. Huh. As long as I can still move a finger. Gah! I can handle any of you. Madam Degen, surely you're reaching your limits too. If you really meant to fight us out and out, you wouldn't have drawn out this situation in the first place. Fight like this any longer and I fear death will come for somebody. Isn't that exactly the kind of war you Victorians make an art of starting? The only difference here is your opponent is me alone. Harold, you're a soldier, and I am your enemy. And keenly put, Madam Degen, but I don't believe for a second that you're blind to it. Carlin Trade's private operations are ferreted out by the Trawberry Ashes, and I don't think the Duke will rest on her laurels about it. That is Insiod's problem. This is the very last chance they're leaving Master Insodi's. He need only bend an ear to the Duke. He need only part with a sliver of the cake. Be it just 30% of what we proposed, I could still take that back to the Duke and try, for heaven's sake. This was never even a war you needed to win. How stupid. Who do you say that as? You're window dressing, you're a tourist, you're a burden beast vet. Have you been a leisure for so long you've begun to believe your own lies? No. You've never forgotten who you are. You hate war, absolutely. You abandoned what real power was in your hands. You took what men of yours sympathised and left the maelstrom far behind and fled to Kirag. So they just happened to be in the area when the Duke decided to call upon them, I guess. To a land where you thought war could never really happen. But you were still a Victorian inside. No. It wasn't even something you had to remind yourself. You might say that. I am a Victorian soldier, madame. That much is ordained, and I might loathe it, and I might flee it. But I could never sully Victoria's interests. Good. I'm the same. Is she the same as this Victorian? They don't seem very identical. No, I do see the similarities, at least in terms of precedence. His Lithanian born, Casimier's raised, and only then came to Kirag. They don't need to know her name. All they know is she's born to fight solo, a victor of the Knights competitions, and only one to ever win 3 years running. And yet the Pegasi soldiers are still supposed to be the best, right? Like more than the champions, if I remember correctly. Because when they appeared in Casimier's, it was a big thing because, oh, the real deal is here now. Wait, did I read that bit? Yeah. Turn the clock further back, and she's a freak cut off from Originian arts, a pariah in Lithanian. Gaining and losing any of these things is dead simple. They bore her to death. But now, what she has isn't so easily lost, and she has no plans to lose them. Now, they are the same. Pistol chat ends here. I feel all too sorry for you, Madam Degen. I'm sure, like, Degen, Decapolis, and Nil are badass enough, but each campaign night is a big deal. Yeah, that's my general interpretation of it. I wonder if they sometimes recruit from the champions. Like, they got it. That it would make sense, wouldn't it? Or maybe not necessarily just champions, but like, you know, the ones that do well. Because they've already got a good starting basis, and you only need to train them a little bit more to get them up to the standard. Oh, would that... Oh, would that we hadn't come to this point. But if you wish it, then I choose to respect it. I must stress at this closing hour that I am, through and through, your fan. The show you made in besting each opponent dazzled like nothing else. Oh yeah, that's true, they did, didn't they? This and this alone I ask you to believe. It cannot be lied. Huh. Noted. It's my honour. Riddled with scars, she raises her degens once more. That sounds lewd when I say it like that. Just as she did in her first appearance before them all. Degen's point stabs into the ice. The mist constant over Lake Silberneherze parts. A subdued gargantuan rumble sinks in her enemy's stomach. Is she going to break the ice? Oh, she is. There comes the fine sound of cracking, and it's deafening. Time to end this. Order to all units. Stop her breaking the ice. Regroup ASAP. Put down the Black Knight of Kazimierz. She literally did the you shall not pass. She's broken the bridge, or in this case, the ice sheet. Nothing. It's not here. Oh, and it's not here either. I like how we've gone back to the Trilbury Asher going through each cabin again. Like, we've just sort of gone full circle there. To walk an army across the frozen lake was dumb in the first place. It kind of was, especially as there was a perfectly good bridge, and they definitely have the numbers advantage to just storm through the bridge. Anyway. Oh, and it's not here either. Well, that just leaves. This one here? Excuse me, sir. The train is speeding up. If you must wonder, then please watch your step. Oh, right, you haven't received your complimentary gift yet, have you? Can I ask what you'd like? As compensation for your journey's delay, your purchase is completely free this time. No need. But, sir, it's a free gift. Then I give this gift to you, madame. But that's not... Take it. Now, excuse me if I could pass through. All right. I will laugh if it's like one of the loot boxes that has the rare item in it. Not that it probably really matters to the locals, but still. Thank you. Oh, what in the land? My legs are a little wobbly. Well, it would be if you're walking through a speeding train. Now, only the last cabin remains. After all this time running around, I'm ragged. I could retire. Not when Londinium's still refinding its footing. Grace would never let me. All I find behind this door. Their Kirak defense, hidden until this very moment, buried deep within even their covert transport routes. Whatever it is, it's a shame. It's a shame Silver Ash will never get to meet his... twice now. Twice the Asher has opened up one of these cabins and it's been like a person or persons that you absolutely do not want to see on the other side of the door. The way they're all looking as well, they're just like, hello. His personal form of capture boxes. Also, I didn't realise he was small. His feet aren't touching the ground. I thought he was a relatively tall man, but I guess not. I mean, he doesn't look tall because he always hunches, but I didn't actually think he was short as well. But it's so funny. Oh my god, it's so funny. I just love the way all the knights are positioned, so they're just like, well, what do we have here? That's just the one over there that's just completely bored, his fist up to his face. Huh? What's up? Panisko? Panishko? I don't know. I don't know how that's pronounced. I'm assuming it's Polish. Sorry, we've got no seats left in our cabin. I think you want to try someplace else. This is basically them saying, it's time for you to leave, my good sir. Arknights version of Dark Soul entering the fog gate. Actually, I can just leave. Oh my god, I love it when comedic moments happen twice in a row. I just love it. It's the exact same thing over again when he opened it up and it was Degen and then he just saw her and just slowly closes the door. And then he's doing it again. Look at the far right, he's leaning. Yeah, that was the one I was pointing out before, the one with, you know, like his resting his face on his fist. Just like bored. It was just like, huh. He's doing it again. He's doing it again. He's doing the thing from last time. Did you need something, Panishko? Nisko? I still don't know how it's actually pronounced. I'm not kidding. We're full in here. I mean, you can see we're bumping shoulders, just trying to look around. God, I've got to say though, all things considered, it must be an absolute nightmare wearing full armor in this cabin with this many people. Yeah, that's why I'm saying I can absolutely just leave and find my own seat. I'm not kidding either. I love that he's like actually being like thoughtful about it as well. It makes it even funnier. You guys seriously don't gotta sit in a cab with me? Don't be like that, Mr. Spokesman. You and us, we're invited together, aren't we? Oh shit, I didn't see that bit. It was all one letter. And this cabin, a perfect amount of room for us all to sit, is it? They look after you on the way too. Sort of like along the lines of gentleman and lady by Google Translate. Okay. And with us around, the safety problem is no problem. Yeah, I mean, I would not want to get into the middle of this small room with 8 of like Silberneherze's elite knights. I mean, at that point, it might as well just be the image of that girl on the sofa with all the men behind her. Present Mike. I completely forgot that is what Mob looks like. Really came away from being Stadium MC. Yeah, I gotta admit though, he has got such a glow up. But only 3 have blue feather on their helmets. True. But they all got the same armor though. Maybe the blue feathers are like officers? They're so polite too, I know, it's funny. I have occurred to me, my dear. Oh no. If you end up following through with it, please send it. Safety is not my problem here. Yeah, no. I don't think it's perfect, is the thing. You guys get to sit on all the benches and I have to dump my butt on the table. Apologies, excuse me. At this point, I just imagine the Silberneherze just like, you know, like squats down, holds his hands to his head and just goes... just, like at this point, it's just like... the man's has not had a good time in Kurag. I see. I understand. I must be dreaming. Silberneherze campaign knights and a CGCC representative spokesman sat in the same private cabin on a railway car. Though this is a defence Silberneherze plays. How bold. How well and truly typical of the clan head style. Your Grace, I can't say it was for lack of trying, but while duty might call me to fight a gaggle of campaign knights at once, I think it's a little out of the question. More than a little. I guess your job's not as easy either. Hmm? Ah, hello. Have I seen you in anything other than IS yet? Or have you been in one of the events or main story? I know you from IS, but I don't know if I've actually seen Break the Ice. Okay, there we go. I was gonna say, like, I couldn't remember if I I feel like I remember the uniform, but I wasn't sure or not. Okay, yeah, so I did see the sprite before then. I was gonna say, it's like, I remember your face from IS, but I shouldn't be remembering the rest of you. Oh no, I should be remembering you, it was from Break the Ice. Anyway, stay calm. Just passing through. That uniform. Huh, this is quite the surprise party. A Silberneherze, a Rhode Island mercenary or operative, I'm just going to say operative, not mercenary, and a squad of Silberneherze campaign knights walk into a train car. This has got to be the start of some kind of joke that's a bit too over my head. Elite top, yeah, I know, I probably should have said that. What is the Rhode Islander doing here? You'll have to ask my boss. I like both of these actually because I remember Bellingham as well, but I like that top one. I really like that top one because I'm a sucker for the Et tu Brute memes. Et tu, Caster's lackey? Oh, quite the shocker indeed. I wasn't expecting you in the flesh. I mean, hey, you're lucky it's me. If it were, you know, let's say Alcit, this event would be running on for about twice the length. And here you thought Harold talks a lot. But the funny thing is, weren't Rhode Island and Kurag only meant to be business partners? We're doing business. Yes, if there's one thing I can trust, it's my memory. Oh my god, the poor guy! The poor guy has been gaslit to hell and back, and it hasn't even been anyone gaslighting him, it's been gaslighting himself by just random occurrences happening around him. Rhode Island, you... Yeesh, Doctor, a little help here? Ah, so, when someone else mentioned Colombia, they weren't kidding, were they? At this point, the entirety of the UN might as well be on this train. Hey, it's Muesli. What the hello, Red? Sup? Our stop's coming up. We gotta get the tech pack. The tech packed. Oh, that's a difficult phrase to say. Doc? Oh, who are you guys? Doctor, maybe we ought to bug the conductor to go a little faster. Hey, it's you! Rhode Island and Columbia's Vine Lab. Well, well, well. Quick, Leto, start talking Russian. Make yourself sound like you're a Ursus confidant or something. Really mess with him. Like, at this point, we just need a couple of Sancta, just bring in... Oh, I don't know, who else is left? Sargon? Just basically just have the United Nations on the Orient Express. I see it's no coincidence you're all here then. Oh geez, I guess someone knows me already. Send in Federico. Oh god, let's not be too mean. Doc, Mr. Sharp, Leto Bomb. That's a nice name. Aren't you going to introduce this Hatsi guy to me here? I like Leto Bomb, I do too. That's quite a nice one. She is a noble technically. True. Oh my god, that's probably the best scene ever. Yeah, I'd like to know, would Kirigander bless the woman waging such a bloody battle for this statue? Though she's born from other lands, though in Kirigander she has oh so little faith. That's a very easy question, Saintess. The term Kirag simply means one who lives there, who adores this land, who finds a home in this nation. It's no matter of whether Kirigander recognizes it. If a person identifies with it from the bottom of their heart, well, who can deny that? In his place, I'd probably sit down, shut up, and wait. Yeah, literally. Like, at this point, I could just imagine him, like, you know, just squatting down, head in his arm, just internal screaming at this point. Like, it's just done. Like, it's over. Yes. No one can deny that, not even she herself. She is a Kirag. She already was. Kia, come with me to meet our visitors. Our Victorian guests have come to partake in the ceremony. As Saintess, I have to make an adequate response. You just gave them an ice bath challenge. I suppose they probably will need a nice blanket and some ceremony. One event of Trilbury Asher getting nothing but bullied. I know, it's amazing. And honestly, quite right too, because I got so sick of that ass hat in the previous two, chapters. Well, I know it's not the same person, or I don't think it's the same person. I think there's multiple Trilbury Ashers if I remember correctly. I'm fairly certain one arrested the other or something, if I remember correctly. Well, he has the same skill as Crown Slayer. True. Anyway. Oh yeah, sorry, but at the very least, I can go without saying hello. I can't go without saying hello, rather. I'd like to stress the danger of this, but very well, Saintess. Matriarch, Sirius is back. She is. Some nerve being late. Wait, no. I told her to keep out of this. Why did she come here? Who's saying I can't come? Hello? And I didn't just come. I brought some special guests with me too. Is this let's bring guests timing to you? You make a language out of it of inane, you silly sister. I am not being silly. Indeed, Madame Theorus's hand is daft and wise. Deft, not daft. No, I can't make that mistake immediately after her saying that she's not silly. Oops. Oops. Yes, Madame Sirius, who is totally not silly or daft, is deft and wise. I find her admirable. Ratata, you do well to finally raise your opinion of her. What in the hell is this, Insiodies? Madame Theorus, the guests have arrived safely. Good, bring them all in. I'm out. Okay, I guess she's not. Master, your guests are here already. You're who? These are my guests I invited. You're Madame Theorus of the Browntail clan? Very pleased you invited us to be part of this ceremony. Theorus, is this your pleasant surprise? Duh. Let me introduce you all. We have our campaign knight from the Adeptus... Oh, I forgot how it's pronounced. Kazimierz. Here to celebrate the erection of our statue to Kuraganda. I sent an invitation especially to the Adeptus. That was not an easy invitation to make. So, they're my guests. It's just a coincidence, Madame Theorus. I cannot laud you enough that you were able to invite a campaign knight. My guest of honour, meanwhile, would be this fellow. Welcome, Sir Spokesman of the General Chamber of Commerce. Oh! Wait, but they said it was the same letter. How did two invites become one letter? Or was it him that helped her get it through, perhaps? And she just didn't realise. Also, I'm going to be honest with you. He looks really nice with the suit. He could do without the visor, mainly just because I want to see his eyes, but he looks nice with the suit on. Hello to you. I'm taking it you're Mr. Silverash. Good to meet you. Good to meet you. And hello from my company. Thank you all for the effort of inviting me out to Kurag. Guess it's kind of his trademark now. True, I suppose. I still find it wild that the logo for the night competition is the Major League Baseball and MLG logo. The scenery here in Kurag is supremely beautiful. I believe your company and mine will absolutely end the day here with a partnership we both love. Oh, and don't mind me, but I gotta say, I think I saw some mad fight out in the frozen lake the whole way here. And kind of a familiar too. Like, one guy. I mean, those combat moves, they rang bells in my head. Oh, sorry, excuse me if I'm talking too much. It's a holdover from the old job. Oh, is he not doing the MCing anymore? Oh, I guess it makes sense. He wouldn't do both. Or maybe he would. Maybe he'll do it for the specific events. Anyway, right. I'll be careful not to say too much. That doesn't work towards us working together. No, Mr. Mob. I'm in need of your exact talent right now. Come again? You need... Yep. Right now, at this very moment. But please, come with me. I'll have them cast sound amplification arts. May I ask you to loudly proclaim that Carlin Trade and the corporations of Kazimierz General Chamber of Commerce are about to sign an agreement. To Kazimierz, Kirak will become a trusty partner. As loud as possible as to annoy the shit out of the Victorians. Absolutely perfect, I fully agree. Or not to annoy them, but to basically make them think, oh, okay, we're not the only foot in the door now. What's that noise? It's not anyone splashing into the ice water. It's not cries for help. It sounds like someone loudly saying something. And then all the people... And the people all about her stumble in disarray. That loud voice. But whatever it's saying, she can't tell clearly. Her field of view narrows and dims by a fraction more. The sound almost turned to fuzz in her ears. Yeah, that's basically the thing, because it's now a multinational, open city. Not city, nation, state, I don't know, whatever it would be called, nation, I guess. She can't feel her own limbs anymore, but she can be sure she still has a grip on her old companions. Her degens. That still sounds wrong saying it in that context. Because she knows her body is still acting on reflex, striking down every person that comes near. It's just too loud. Too loud. How can someone talk so noisily? That's mob for you. Why is the crowd gone? Did someone breach her line of defense already? No. The wild beast's dulling eyes of gold suddenly flare alight. As long as she can stand, she will allow absolutely no one to pass. Degen, Madam Degen, stop fighting. Gah! You've lost too much blood, madam. Come to your senses a little. Keep flailing at this rate, and you'll sink us both in the lake. I just like to imagine that they're on like a floating piece of ice now, like they're surrounded by water. And like same for the others. We're not fighting. No more fighting. No more. Goodness. However much the Duke wants to slap Kirak in the face, we can't be showing Kazimierz and the hand in the process, at least not now. Kept between Victoria and Kirak, one might still call it the Duke's personal silver ash grievances, but the moment you bring Kazimierz into it, too, things become far, far less simple. See, this is what I was talking about before with how Castor seems very brash to do this, because if there was literally any other country involved, it would immediately become a problem, and, well, here we go, lo and behold, I guess. Are the Gormans of Kazimierz already inviting Carlin Trade to the table? With such distance between them, and in such short order. What a talented young individual. And I know the Duke won't reproach me for deciding to stay my hand. Spiffing excuse. He was just hoping that something like this would happen. A good half of my men you battered into the lake, Madame Degen. It was a backbreaker to scoop them out again. If we'd kept going like that, I'd need another pair of arms to treat you all. I say you need them as this. I take no criticism from anyone still hacking up blood. Oh, that is such a medic thing to say. We're done? Well and truly done. Okay. I love that they're just, okay. move on. Harold talking about business and politics, and Dijon's like, I don't understand any of this. It does not involve hitting a thing hard. Barbarian, I'm telling you. Absolutely a barbarian class. Probably one of the rare ones that actually has a little bit of intelligence points put in, but still, barbarian. And Theodes pulled it off. She did what she needed to do. That's all Dijon hears. Now, madame, stop there. The lives we live, they always tend to be out of our hands. I wanted to retire eons ago myself, but I have to keep my own men, my all too often down-and-out brothers in mind. With this, it finally ought to be my turn for once, And in light of the fact your faithful fans been beaten black and blue, could you give me your autograph? Now? You're gonna ask now? You're still in the mood for that? This card. Do tell. The first time I won the major, they wouldn't leave me alone until I agreed to a photo shoot. After that, I never agreed to another one. They were too boring for me. I see. No wonder the Black Knight's trumps always come in those same poses, edition after edition. Dijon accepts the pen Harold holds out to her. I'm just glad that the cards didn't get soaked when everyone keeps jumping in and out of the water. And writes her name, Dijon. Take it. You'd better not have anything else for me to sign. Madam, where are you going? Do you need some quick treatment? My first aid's excellent, you know. Dijon lifts her head to look to the dawn. In the distance, two figures walk, approaching her. She still can't make them out, but she knows who they are. Most likely protective sleeve. Also explains why the portrait room, the Black Knight's victory photo, is the same one. You make an excellent point. I completely forgot about that. I just assumed it was to, you know, sort of like drive in the fact that this person won multiple times in a row. But no, that makes a lot more sense. It's like Kuraganda on high is gazing down on her, someplace as high as the sun. Well, actually, it's just a few feet away where those two silhouettes are coming from. No need. I'm going back. There's people waiting for me. All in all, I kind of hope that Harold is okay in Kirak still, because I know how much he loves the place. Although then again, he did want to go back to his family as well, so maybe it's not necessarily a bad thing. Ugh. Is it over? Did we win? Ouch! Good, at least you can still feel your arm. Now get up if you're still alive. Ouch, take it easy, Charles. Enough fooling around. Harold has enough work to do without you adding to it. Get to the lakeside if you can still walk. Patch yourselves up if you can. I gotta say, I do really like these Victorian soldiers. I think this event in particular has given them a lot of individual personality, which I really like. Especially when compared to the chapter 9, when besides like the two officers, the rest of them really did just feel like stormtroopers. I need a few volunteers to help me carry one of the ones that can't get up themselves. There we go. I'll come with you, Jefferson. Just say it if you won't... just say it if you don't want that leg of yours anymore. We can have Harold make one for you. God's wounds. I can't believe everyone's still breathing after all that. What a bloody miracle. No, that was deliberate. Also, I only just realised you actually do have an eye. It's just very faintly there. Could it really be Kiriganda's protection? Or isn't it the other way around? 1,000 against 1, and she's still breathing. Maybe it really is Kiriganda's protection. Yeah, it's for both. It's not. Kiriganda is kind and watchful, but this result is not the result of her power. That no one lost their life is a miracle that we created together. That's what I believe. You're the Saintess of Kirag. Yeah, imagine like fighting in order to like, you know, break a statue for another country, and then suddenly you lose, and now you're greeted by the leader of that country. There's just got to be a wild ride for these regular-ass soldiers. Your words honour us more than we deserve. What are your instructions? Great question to ask for another leader. Okay, whatever. I wouldn't call it instructions per se. Just an invitation to attend the post-ceremony banquet, as is the place of the host. I know you both just sort of beat the shit out of each other silly, but want to come over for a meal? I gotta lie, I just love how this has turned out. Like, they literally just fought pretty much a war right now, and now it's like, okay, that's all done with. Dinner? Yeah, I bring you a message from my goddess. You idiots, couldn't you manage to hit my wide statue at least once? Yeah, I wonder if she was hoping that the entire time. It's like, they still need to get rid of that bang over there. Could they just fire a bit of artillery over? God damn it, Degen, stop breaking the artillery. I need it to hit the statue. After, aren't you here in Kirag for the ceremony? Was that supposed to be after all? I thought exile would be the best case scenario. We're allowed to participate in the banquet? Would you rather be here for the banquet, or admit that you're here for a military operation and go to prison? Now that's a good point. Go on, be my guest. Quite literally, be my guest. Isn't that a song? Saintess. Everything is ready. The banquet can begin at any time. I'm assuming it's supposed to be any time, and I'm not just being dumb and not knowing of a specific word. Thank you, Kya. Why thank me? No particular reason. Just wanted to thank you. Kirag will become a better place, Kya. There will come a day when people from the outside will know more than just Carlin trade, see more than just the snow, mountains and valleys. Have you rolled for Shu? I have tried, I haven't got him yet. I do have a 10 pool worth of stuff, and the free pool, which I'll do after this. They will know that there is a country here by the name of Kirag. A respectable country with its unique culture and customs, where its people live in prosperity. Sounds great. You sure you don't need a little help, Enya? Without that, you wouldn't have any rainbows. Kiriganda's blessing reaches onto the heart because of how precious it is. If we ask Kiriganda for a miracle for every little thing, then what's left is not religion, but reliance. When you start to take something for granted, that's when you stop respecting it. Things are fine the way it is. Let's just hope Kiriganda doesn't get angry at me for thinking this way. I do love the way that you talk like that, as if you're not actually talking to the goddess right now. Don't worry, Enya. Nothing makes a mother happier than to see her child start to walk on its own 2 feet. I'm done, Mr. Silverash. This is my first outdoor speech. Are you sure this is going to work? It was perfect, Mr. Mob. Your voice was filled with passion. No one could pick a flaw in it. Even though you declined my offer to have someone magnify your voice with Originium Arts... Wait, he didn't? Oh, the amplification device that you used performed above and beyond expectations. Okay, that's fair. For a moment, I thought they just meant that he was loud. I would have laughed my ass off if that was the case. But no, I forgot he has like his own little microphone thing. He really is. He really is that guy from My Hero Academia. Is this your company's new product? This amplifier? No, of course not. It's good, but the market for amplifiers is cornered by a few big companies. I imagine a lot of them would be Lifanian as well. There's no place for us there. Forget I said anything. I've heard about corporate competition in Kazimierz. You didn't say anything that I didn't know. So, what is it that you're using? A gift from a friend I met on the train. They probably thought it was just a toy. Who could have thought that it would come in so handy when Mr. Silverash made an abrupt request? I see. Mr. Mob, Cullen Trade would very much love for our corporation to extend beyond this one time. I will have someone take you around Kirag for the next few days, including tours of our mines and factories. Please, accept this as a token of my sincerity. I believe Kirag will not disappoint you. They stopped. They really stopped. It's like you said, that man in the suit opens his mouth and both sides stop fighting before long. I thought we were in for a real fight. Didn't Silverash tell you guys to get here quick? But it was all over in an instant. Why did the Victorians and Kirag stop fighting as soon as he arrived? Because he's a spokesman for the Kazimierz General Chamber of Commerce. Who? Is that really important? Oh, wait, I know. The important thing is that he's from Kazimierz, isn't it? Victoria wants to bully Kirag for its own interests, but they have to be careful when it comes to Kazimierz, who's also here for its own interests. I think something like that came up in one of Anna's tests. Exactly. So, is this why Silverash contacted you and Muesli? You're his backup plan. You're learning, Lito. Ah, so if Kazimierz itself hadn't have done it, we would have then been the next ones to say, hey, stop. No wonder you're in such a hurry. Stuff like this is a pain. But how did you know that the man in the suit was the spokesman for what again? You know him? We've met. His appearance has changed, but his voice hasn't. I like that one. Appearance, voice? I guess his voice is pretty unusual. It was really loud. I don't know how he did it. I could hear him all the way from here. Man, it really is that guy. I'm calling Great Mouth for nothing, yeah. I also wouldn't be surprised if it is an Originium Art Speedy. Oh yeah, Doctor. Did you give him something at the station? Just a little toy that Closure made. Can you imagine how annoyed Closure would be if that discussion between Silverash and Mob gives them both the idea to then reproduce that device and sell it? Closure would be miffed. Like, she just suddenly finds out the company is selling her device. Yeah, a little toy that Closure made. Really? Somehow I can't help but think there's more than meets the eye. Oh, Muesli is chatting with someone. Should we go over? You have people you know here too, don't you, Sharp? I'm working right now. Ah, come on. So where did Mr. Funny Hat retire off to? The sunset? Oh, he's probably in a bar drinking at this point. I would in his position. The one who invited me is probably a little too busy right now. Taking in the view here isn't such a bad idea. Sure. I'll stay with you. I don't think that's going to work. There's someone waiting for you there. For me? Who? Oh. Him. Are you not going? Well, there really isn't anything I want to say to him. This sucks. Sorry, Doctor. Sharp, give me a minute. I'll be back soon. Oh, there he is. Rosalind. You got something to say, spit it out. Otherwise, I've got places to be. Wait. I just wanted to make sure that you're safe. I couldn't come find you in that chaos. I'm fine. The Victorians weren't looking for me. Even that Silberneherze guy is no match for Sharp and the Doctor. That bastard's still after you? I don't think so. It didn't look like he was here for me. Well, he's lucky he ran away. Sharp and I would have given him a nice little beating. Letter bomb, yeah. I don't underestimate a Silberneherze. I don't like their methods either, but the Silberneherzes are a big deal. Him? Didn't seem like he was anything special. That's because Insiodies has Degen to keep him down. A warrior must never underestimate an enemy, Rosalind. Alright, you done then? I gotta go. Wait. 3, 2... Rosalind! I spent a lot of time thinking about it last night. I was weak back then. The days with your mother were like honey. I couldn't keep myself from thinking about her. I couldn't keep myself away from her. From the very beginning. I dragged you and Tatiana into that mess, but abandoned you when I couldn't handle the pressure. You're right to yell at me, Rosalind. Whatever I say now won't be anything more than an excuse. For more than a decade, my memory has tried to justify it. It whitewashes the memories for a man too weak to face his own weakness, so that he can continue to feel safe, continue to run away. He lied so much, he even fooled himself. It's my fault. I deserve to be scolded and scorned by you. And I can't blame you for being disappointed in me and Kurag. I let you and your mother down. I'm sorry. There's one thing I want to make clear. Mamochka never said anything bad about Kurag. Or about my papa. She even taught me how to pray to Kuraganda, even though I never really believed in it. Wait, so you didn't need to be told by the grandpa? Mamochka only ever said good things about this place. Tatiana, she doesn't hate Kurag? Why would I lie? I told you, didn't I? She said my papa was really handsome. Of course, I'm having doubts about that now. It was before I started with the beard. Tatiana did say she liked my face. Wait, why did she tell you all this? Could it be that she doesn't blame me? Stop. Don't get too ahead of yourself. Don't count on other people not blaming you, if you know you're wrong. But it's exhausting to live with hatred. You underestimate Mamochka. If you thought she would spend a decade hating you and Kurag, you're not worth it. You're right. It's not worth it to live in pain for a man like me. It's all for the better. Good, you get it. I didn't know who my papa was, and now I do. But that's all there is to it. I don't need recognition from your family. Parlorich business is none of my business. I'm the daughter of Tatiana I can never do this one properly. Yevgenyevna. There we go. Larina. Could we just stick with Tatiana Larina? I'm Rosalind Tatianovna Larina, codename Lito, or Lito. Remember that. Like, they really don't need that N. That N does not need to be there. They could just say Nova. It was Tatiana who named you. Rolls smoothly off the tongue than Parla Roche. No, it most certainly does not. Lito, not bad, not bad. Nice code name. At least you have taste. Oh yeah, this is for you. Bank account? Yeah, there we go. Exactly. Child support for all these years. The amount in the back is rounded. I rounded it down for you. Oh, how generous. Please make the transfers at your earliest convenience. Child support? You think you were going to get away with it? I said it yesterday, didn't I? Living expenses, tuition, medical bills, emotional damages for a deadbeat dad. It's all there. Gotta go. I like to imagine that before she came over here, she got oh shit, what's her name? Livona? Livion? Oh, the judge woman to write it, to do all the calculations, you know, do all the legal stuff. God, why can't I think of the name? Is it Liviana? Something like that? Oh, you know, the judge lady, the Syracusan. Wait, Rosalind. The currency conversion might take some time. I'll find someone to take care of it as soon as possible. Rosalind? Please, can I see Tatiana one more time? Just once? Lavinia, there we go. I did that before. I did that during the event where I'd say Liviana or something like that instead. I'm sure she mentioned it was Estina. Oh, okay. I might have forgotten that one then. In your dreams. Is this your will too, Kyorganda? The matters of the world are beyond a mere mortal's ability to predict. Master? Why are you standing all the way up front? There's nothing to see in particular. Beto seems to hate him more than Tatiana. That doesn't make sense, to be fair, considering she was going to visit him before she got hurt anyway. Yeah. To be fair, she also might not necessarily be serious as well. Like, if Tatiana wants to see him, she's going to go and see him. Like, she's probably just saying that to annoy or upset him. Or she is being defensive. It is common for children of split couples, especially one where the parent isn't in the picture, to try to block them out. So whether or not she's serious or not, it's up to her. Just passing by. You said you just became a grandfather the last time you came to pray, Lucas? Yes. My son's daughter. Good thing she looks like her mother. That foreign woman my son insisted on marrying, from, what's the name, Syracusa. Fierce woman, that. Huh. Interesting. Well, at least the kid's got... At least the kid of mine got a taker. There we go. Lapland. That would just be way too weird. I can't imagine Lapland settling down with anyone. Were you against the marriage? What's the point, if the young ones are in love? I might have said a word or two in my younger days. Ha! It's funny, his the grandfather is basically just meeting a version of himself that he should have been. Like, this is what he should have been like back then. Obviously, things were different back then, but still. Also, you see Tatiana in Lito's operator record. Oh, okay, I'll see if I've got her. And I'll try and see if I can find it. But it might be a later trust level, so I'm not sure. But now, just let them be. You will also see her here. Oh, okay. I like how the both of you at the exact same time said the same thing as well. One of you owes each other a soda. You said you wanted a warding stone for your granddaughter, didn't you? Hoping that some of Kiragander and the Saintess's blessings would rub off, you know? You can have this. This mark. It's a stone blessed by the Saintess herself. That's too precious for someone like me, Master. Take it. Consider it a welcome gift for your granddaughter as she comes into this world. I'll pray to Kiragander that the children of Kira can grow up without illness, pain, or sorrow. By Kiragander. By Kiragander. I don't like that. That's the Asher, isn't it? See, now, from this entire event, if someone's face is covered, I'm automatically assuming it's the Asher because he's done it too many times. Phew. The Black Knight is definitely more than just a name. To think she wasn't even trying to kill. A little too much for old bones like me. Like mine, rather. Yeah, there it is. Yep, that is most definitely him. Sir, your injuries. Just a scratch. Don't want to miss the Saintess banquet, after all. It's not every day that I get to be called Sir by you, though. Okay, there we go. I was going to say, there was no way Harold wouldn't know it's him, because they know each other on like a personal level, or semi-personal. I think I just lost my appetite for some reason. Oh, come on, it's been through a rough spot. Even I feel bad for the guy. Damn it, show the face! Get rid of the hat! Every time I see him in, like, someone else's attire, a part of me hopes that they just show something. You know what? Never mind. I don't feel bad for him anymore. My condolences concerning your appetite, my lord. I will report the facts of your performance in Kirag and the changes in the situation to the Duke. Suit yourself. I'm confident that I did nothing to displease her grace. What about you, Trilbury Asher? The waters of Londinium you could muddle, but Kirag gives you little room to Kirag gives you little room to maneuver. There we go. Ain't that the truth? No need to worry about me, my lord. I have completed the mission assigned to me by Her Grace. I've noticed a lot more mistakes this time around. Oh? Kirag is not worth devoting too much time and effort to, but there are elements that require the Duke's attention. You mean... we thought it was Karlan trade or Kirag's geographical advantages as a natural fortress and commerce hub. Seems like Her Grace is truly grounded, or visionary. Are you here to visit the true form of Kiragander? Of course. Her Grace wants to know whether Kiragander truly exists in Kirag. Huh. Well, you certainly met that earlier. In times of crisis, will Kiragander really help her people? Tell me you didn't just orchestrate this entire pseudo-war just to see if something would happen. Interesting. And your conclusion? I do not recommend that the Duke confront Kirag militarily at this time. Seeing the Kazimierzian corporations that publicly entered into partnership with Carlin Trade, I also ran into a Colombian scientist on the way here. Not to mention Rhode Island. Maybe one higher being looking for another? Could be. Force is not a smart plan. Winning is easy, making money is hard. We're not Ursine, it's not worth it. It's not every day that we agree with one another. Did you hit your head or something? Like you, I'm a pacifist. Ew. You know what? Fair. I agree with him on that one. Just talk like you normally do, please. If it saves some time and effort, my lord. Yes? Are you familiar with this little trinket? A bird and beast blind box. They're all the rage right now. Why would you buy this? Well, it's not important. Open it up and see what's inside. Please be like the one-time, you know, super special one. I've got a full set, but I'm missing the limited edition secret version. No one knows what the box holds until it's opened. Yes, that's Gacha. The mystery is what makes it alluring. Perhaps I shouldn't open it. Now, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Well, are you going to open it or not? I'll have it if you're not going to open it. I'll open it. It's going to be... What's this? What did you find? Let me see. Mother of mercy. This is... Frozen Crystal Burden Beast. Secret limited edition. What kind of luck is that? I've been opening these boxes since the first day I've arrived at Kirag, and I've never gotten this one. Kiragander, this is not fair. Trubriasha, we're both in Her Grace's employ. Think you could... I'm afraid not, my lord. You knew it. I must stay in Kirag for a while longer after submitting my report. Thanks to you, I just realised that collecting Burden Beast accessories isn't such a bad pastime after all. This is basically just propaganda for Gacha. The guy that never saw any point in doing it suddenly wins big and is thinking, oh, I'm going to go and get all of them now. Hypergriff are not being particularly subtle today. Can you stand? Not dead yet. I'll be fine in a few days. Good. Gnosis? He went down first. He says he's footing the bill tonight. He has lousy taste. Pick for him. Okay. You've been walking around in circles there for ages. You've got something to say, out with it. I'm thinking that my debt to you seems to keep growing, from Kazimierz to here. One that I don't see a way to repay. You're afraid I'd jump ship? It would be a big loss. You want to repay me? Name your price. Gnosis will find a way. My guy, you don't say that about how you owe someone and then say, name your price. The other guy will do it. Okay, I know that he does like the fundings and all that for the company, so it makes sense. But still, it sounds sneaky when he says it like that. Forget it. All I did was follow an arrogant young man to these bleak frozen hills 10 years ago on a whim. A place where the temperature hovers above freezing on the warmest days. Life here didn't turn out to be so bad, so I started doing what I could. What does any of that have to do with you, Ensiodes? I guess you're right. You stayed for the land, not for me. I didn't think I would hear that from my own mouth. And don't put on that act about owing me. Tell the truth. What are you thinking? I'm thinking there will come a day where when the people from the outside will know more than just Carl and trade, see more than just the snow, mountains and valleys. They'll remember the name Kirag. And don't get too excited. You may have won this round, but at the end of the day, you've just gotten yourself more tough customers. Ah, God, that's difficult to say out loud. Ugh. I was trying not to hiccup at the same time. There, the same thing as Sister said. Yeah, I was thinking that. Should I thank you for bringing Kazimierz back to me? And Ensiodes stays silent for a moment, then picks up a broken piece of ice from the ground and points it at the sun. The ice is dauntingly cold, but it glitters under the sun, almost glaringly. Yes, Kazimierz has come. Columbia is coming. That one's not exactly the best thing, really. Things will only get more complicated. All the Pegasus lines up behind Ensiodes for autographs too. That would be funny, especially after she said I won't have to sign anything else. You can't win every time. Have you ever lost? No. That's too bad. You must never have met an opponent like me. Wow. Oh? Come with Gnosis to the Blurler training grounds. I'll take both of you on at the same time. One hand tied behind my back. Gnosis is actually not bad with a sword. You're in a good mood. It's all done. Three years of perseverance has borne fruit at last. We broke things wide open. Castor is no longer an existential threat. The independence of Kirag, there we go, is no longer a pipe dream. In other words, I'm assuming that's supposed to be, you've drawn the attention of both arrogant Victorian nobles and unscrupulous Kazimierz merchants, soon to be joined by scientists with no qualms about moral or ethics. She really did call it. Even more people will hate you for being even more for bringing even more chaos to this country. Let them. I don't care. All I care is... Excuse me. Oh my god. Are you actually going to ask for an autograph? Are you the Black Knight? Yes. So it's true. The Black Knight is in Kirag. It's really the Black Knight. This makes it all worth it. And you're the president of Carl and Trades, aren't you? I've been a fan of the Black Knight since I was 5. Can I get her autograph? That's up to her. Do you want to sign for these young folks, Degen? Oh yes, no, Roos absolutely told them. Just the fuck on his face. Fine. The campaign knights eagerly call out to their comrades. A little line forms on a... Oh my god. Whoever it was in chat has been blessed by Apollo, for better or worse. Good luck with the Bai disaster. It's like one of the many small fan meet and greets on the streets of Kazimierz. The campaign knights give Degen their cards, and Degen writes her name on them. Ensiodes chats with the knights every now and then, playing the part of a good host. It's all very natural, and no one has the slightest complaint. Eventually the knights leave, satisfied, and calm returns to the ice. The campaign knights I know aren't that excitable. Our partnership with Kazimierz has just begun. The Adeptus blah 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 Kazimierz wouldn't have sent real campaign knights. Ah. That probably explains why they were very casual on the train, now that I think about it. Because really, one of them would have stood up and been like, hey, what are you doing here, sort of thing, really. This is just the Browntails spending their own money to invite some youths over for a sightseeing trip. I sure hope Kazimierz doesn't have any sort of stolen valor laws. And it probably took the Black Knight's name to get them to agree. Oh my god, again, someone in chat, it was, you got it, yeah, you said it, didn't you? Yeah, they told. How do you feel? Maybe I'm no different from the Kazimierz that you hated. You're just another chip in my hands. All of it is the same, be it your identity as the Black Knight, Kazimierz's exploitation of you, your martial strength, and your value as a soldier. Do you find this unacceptable? Now? I've gotten used to it. I like that she's all smiley now as well. It is a nice little town, to be honest. Let us once again welcome our friends from far away. The doors of Kirag are always open to those who come in good faith. Let us remember the friendships forged today. By Kiragander. By Kiragander. By Kiragander. By Kiragander. Thank you for the invitation, Saintess. You're Muesli from Rhinelab. It warms me up that you still remember me. The mountains and rivers of Kirag that I saw along the way were awfully pretty. I'm sure we'll have a great partnership. Rhinelab's partner is Carlin Trades, Miss Muesli. But you are the one calling the shots in Kirag. Building a launch pad on Carlin is a big deal. A launch pad? Are you trying to go to space again? Mr. Silverneherze has stressed the need to get the Saintess's blessing. Are you trying to get what's-her-face back? Or maybe it's just euphemism, maybe it's not a literal launch pad. I have heard about this from Sir Ensiodes. Carlin is the spine and body of Kiragander. I must say I have reservations about such a massive project taking place here. Saintess. Excuse me. What is it, Kya? That launch pad that they're talking about, it sends things into the sky, right? If they build it there, does that mean that Kiragander will get a few cannons on her body? She really wants a mech statue, doesn't she? Cannons? Kya, do you think Kiragander would object? Object? Why? It sounds so cool. Oh my god. I guess this is kind of the one thing you have to deal with when your god is actually a person. You then have to deal with the whims of a person. Who also just happens to be omnipotent. You should say yes. Oh my god. The funniest thing is, though, how would the Saintess say no? It is literally God telling her she wants cannons on her shoulders. Like... Oh, hey! We get to see the person. Or did we before? I can't actually remember if we ever did get to see her or not in the end. Lisbon, what happened? Those wounds? It's nothing. Freya. Oh, of course she's got Freya. I have something important to tell you. What is it, Lisbon? I love... God's sake. Hey, don't chicken out. No, bad. Fucking coward. You just went face to face with the Black Knight of Casimir's. You do not get to chicken out on saying you love someone. I heart snow. The knitted words on your clothes look so nice. The snowy mountains are so beautiful on a fine day like this. Huh? Oh, yeah. Find out! Damn it. It's fine, it's fine. It is not fine. Oh, damn it all. Burke ran away from that? I should shoot him for desertion. Down, Jack. Did you all peep on me like this? Back in the day when I proposed to my wife? Well, come now, Harold. This isn't personal. We do this to everyone who proposes. I love this dynamic. I do really like the Victorian soldiers in this event. They are just people. I like it. Is Lisbon really going to propose after a fight like that? What does he have to lose after a fight like that? She says yes, he gets to bury his bones here. She says no, he gets closure and returns to Victoria. It's going to take him the better part of a full year to recover. You have a point. You idiots, why didn't you call me over to help? Are you going to let your brother propose empty-handed? No ring? Fine. But not even a flower? I mean, yeah, he's got a point there. It's all ice and snow here. Where are you going to find a flower? A shop? Make an ice flower then. What do you carry your weapons for? Nothing shows sincerity like handmade stuff. And that's what the ladies like, don't you understand? Well, you're in a better position to understand than any of us. Wow. At least they're at least they know. Right, Harold? Ice flower, eh? I'm sure there's someone back home who'll be very interested to know. Ooh. Bit of a deep cut there. Wait, don't you run your mouth in front of my wife. I've never given a nice flower to any woman other than Lily. The burden beast. It was just an example, really. I didn't expect to see you here. It's my job to protect the Doctor. Same old story. Care to spar? After you've fully recovered. There's got to be a little bit of a moment there where he thought, maybe I could win in this state. We can do it after hours, if I'm still in Kirak then. Alright. She's smiling a lot more now, I really like it. How many people do you have who are better than you? I wouldn't mind making the trip myself, if there are enough of them. Is that the reason she becomes an operator? She didn't sign up or anything, she just decided to come to the carrier one day and just fight anyone that accepts. They're still repairing the deck plating today. You used to commentate the night competitions. No wonder your voice sounded familiar. Maybe I watched a match you were covering. Thanks for the compliment. Not that I have much to write home about other than my voice. I didn't expect to see the campaign knights here, though. The ones in silver armour. They're so cool. Oh, if you knew. I invited them here. And you too, Rosalind. You're a guest of mine as well. Enjoy the hospitality of Kirag. Sharp, Thurta, Nell, Podenko, Ifrit, Popuka, Rosa, Mountain. I imagine... Oh, what's her name? The Sarkaz woman, the other elite operator, the sneaky one. She'd probably be a decent fight as well. Ascalon, there we go. W would definitely like a fight. I love DJ and squad, leader VO. Anyone fall behind, no, get no dinner. Nice. I must thank you, Doctor. Thank you for accepting the invitation and for your little gift to Mr. Mob. It was quite helpful. You had a plan even without my help, didn't you? It would have involved more effort. Under the circumstances, I'm plenty thankful just to speed things up fucking Christ. Under the circumstances, I'm plenty thankful just to speed things up by a step. I hope you're happy with our hospitality. Don't think you can hook me with an invitation letter next time. Was it you who invited Ryan? I thought Rhode Island was the extent of your manipulation. Oh, I want to know both, though. Carl and Trade invited Ryan Lab to discuss cooperation. But I, Ensiodes, invited you, Doctor, for the sole purpose of attending the ceremony and nothing else. You can take part of the credit for this festive scene before us. Come, ally. I will be happy to be your guide if you would like to see what Kirag is like now. I guess we could do worse than a shore leave. One more thing. Next time, if you want me to bring someone with me, just say it. Are you surprised she didn't come? Ooh. As an ally, I'm sure you understand what I mean. Cliffart's doing fine. Oh, right, okay. Cliffart's doing fine. It's just that this was on short notice and she happened to be away from Rhode Island. Your sister is busy with her own business. Send the invitation earlier next time. Yeah, I'll do that one. She'll be back to Kirag next time. She said she'll give you a surprise. The plural you. Ooh, does that mean there will be another event, another Kirag event, and she'll be in it? Glad to hear that. It's a shame that she couldn't come on such an important occasion, but if she continues to climb, then whatever peak she reaches, she'll hear the wind of Carlin from the top. Wait, did I say Carlin when it was supposed to be Kirag? Oh no, it was Carlin. Retatos? You shouldn't be here now. The absence of the head of one of the three great houses at the Saintess's banquet will draw unnecessary attention. Wait, is there an under the statue? Cirrus will take care of things. If there's anyone who shouldn't be here at this time, it's the CTO of Carl and Trade. I'm sure that director of Ryan Lab has many things she wants to discuss with someone in a technical position. Ensiodes will take care of her needs. We want Ryan Lab's technology, and they want Carlin's elevated terrain. Fundamentally, this is a business deal. That's more in Ensiodes' domain. I guess you're right. I'm thinking that Ensiodes must have had a dozen contingency plans for today's incident. He put up a good act being worried, though. Did it fool you? That's the kind of person he is. I'm not surprised. But there's one thing that you're off the mark about, Retatos. This is the rare occasion that he didn't put up an act. Yes, it's not like him. Not sufficiently profit-driven, too much risk, yet the best outcome was achieved for everyone. What is here? You hear that, Gnosis? It's the sound of metal coming together to form a monster. I've listened to the heavy noise of construction for long enough. Is there actually a mech? Project 1 is near completion, from what I've heard. You heard right. But for all the effort we committed, even building Kiriganda's statue was a ruse, and building the base underneath Lake Shibidide. For all the time we put in, the effort it took to hide it all. What is it? Oh, it's a battleship. One battleship is all we managed to build. How big is it? And it's underground as well, so they'll have to push it out into the lake and have it float up? Does that make it technically semi-submersible, or where would it go? There would have to be somewhere else that it would. It's fantasy. I'm not going to think too much about it. It looks cool though. This is also making me think of Space Battleship Yamato. Not the first season where it's built inside the wreckage of the actual Yamato, more so the second season where they have that sort of like pocket dimension underground. Like this, and they had like that underground fleet yard construction. That's kind of what it reminds me of. Reminds me of the launch base for the very old oh, Thunderbirds, yes. I don't think the original's called Thunderbirds Go, though. Thunderbirds Go is just a modern animation, isn't it? I'm fairly certain the original puppet show was just called Thunderbirds. You know it? Of course I know it. It's a British show. It's a famous British sci-fi, along with Captain Scarlet. Oh, I forgot the name of the submarine one. They all took place in the same universe, but at different time periods. Yeah, the puppet show, did see some of it decades ago somewhere on German TV, yeah. But yeah, it was a massive thing, and it was still on repeat when I was a kid. I didn't see the full thing, but there are some that I remember. Oh yeah, also there was a space one. It wasn't a puppet show, it was an actual like in-person one, kind of like Star Trek, but a bit more realistic. I can't remember what it was called, but that was also the same person that made Thunderbirds and all that, and I think it's the same universe as well, but I'm not sure. Because I think everything he wrote was one continuity. Anyway, we can't hide it for long. Even if Victoria lets it go this once, the world will eventually figure out what we're doing. UFO? I don't think so. Because it wouldn't make sense if it was called that. Or maybe it is. No, it's not. Oh god, now I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm now dilly-dallying. Because I can't get it out of my head. What's it called? It's fiction. Is it Space 1999 or something like that? Yes, Space 1999, I believe, is the one I'm thinking of. I think it's written by the same people, the same man that did Thunderbirds. Oh, UFO was also the same person who did Thunderbirds. Okay, so it's Stingray, which was the submarine one, Thunderbirds, Captain Scarlet, Joe McLean, or Joe 90, UFO, and Space 1999. Interesting. So 4 puppet shows and 2 live actions. Anyway, I'm really going off topic here now. But yeah, so it was UFO as well. Huh, interesting. We need an old UK video night once. That would be interesting, yeah. Hello, hello, yes! Oh my god, I love hello, hello. I love the way they do the accents, where the accents denote the language, so if they change their accent, it means they're speaking in another language. I always found that so clever. Yeah, we don't need to hide. That's why we don't need to hide it on purpose. Good morning. I was pissing by. I love that guy so much. Because it was like a British spy that was supposed to pretend to be a French policeman, but his French was awful, and they decided to do that by having him speak English badly. That's how they decided, and with like a bad French accent. I don't know, it's really fun. Anyway, just try not to draw too much attention. I'm sure you realise why Victoria stopped. We must develop as much as we can now, while all the powers at work are still in balance. This is the only way out for Kirag. I hope it all goes well as you say. Speaking of which, Ratatos, yes? I heard some rumours. Are you really going to call the Project 1 ship the Walnut? I mean, it's fitting for a squirrel. Heh. Why not? That silly sister of mine came up with an interesting idea this time. She said that when she has her own kids, she'll tell them that the ship is their older brother. I forgot she gave the kid a weird name. Cute, isn't it? You know what? I'm fine with this. Call it Walnut. Can you see the poor goddess just fainted from the voice? Rosalind? I'm sorry I couldn't come with you to Kirag this time. You took the box to the top of the mountain, didn't you? Mamochka, you can trust me. You went out again? Doctor told you to stay in bed. Just taking a walk, I'm fine. All this fuss over one broken bone. I'm getting suffocated, stuck in a hospital room all day. That's because you weren't careful when fiddling with that jetpack. Of course you were fiddling with a jetpack. You can see why I talked up. Oh, definitely. It was fun, wasn't it? I want to try it again sometime. Did you have the chance to try out rock climbing while you were at Kirag? No, I didn't. You really should next time you have the chance. It's fun. I'll take you on an adventure in Sargon once my leg is healed. Sammy sounds good too. I can't wait. Nice. Wow. We actually get to see the relative. That's got to be a first for Arknights. No shadow figure that of a NPC that you've definitely already seen and is not at all separate to it. An actual person. But yeah, she looked good. Yeah, she... But yeah, so I'm going to leave it here now because we have done it. I have finally, about a month or two later than the event was actually around, but I managed to do it. I've now done this event. So I did originally say tomorrow, but it probably won't be tomorrow. It'll probably be Sunday. I will start the new event that is out now. There's 19 days, so I'm not too bothered by it. I'll get through it pretty quickly, at least I hope. I do know that apparently the 3 events... Tomorrow is Sunday? No, it's not. Oh, you know what I mean. It's midnight now, so yes, obviously, it's already Saturday. What I mean is, instead of doing it this evening, if you want to be that technical, I'm going to do it Sunday evening. Damn, you flashbanged my brain for a moment there. Event is running 3 weeks, don't worry. Yeah, so I'll play through it bit by bit. It should only take 4 streams considering, but however, apparently the 3 I keep saying 3. I don't actually know how it's pronounced, but apparently those stories are quite long, so it might be longer than some of the other ones I've played, so we'll have to see. We shall refer to her as Vito Bomb only from now on. Oh, absolutely. But yeah, so that's the general idea. I do want to go back into doing some Wuthering and some Zenless Zone Zero as well, and I shall be trying to get back into Valhalla as well, because I still need to finish that. By the way, Walnut is a shit name for a battleship, given that only one thing with nuts cracked them open. Yeah, true. And a walnut isn't... Well, actually, no, to be fair, walnut does have the hardest shell, doesn't it? And I'm allergic to walnuts, so I have a respect for their dangerous abilities. But anyway, so I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to try and make a schedule for next week, just so that I actually do something, because I keep leaving streams till later, and with the heat as well, I just keep sort of forgetting. Oh, free pool, thank you for reminding me. I might as well do it now. That's what I was going to do. I completely forgot that I was doing that at the end. So I've got this, and I will do the 10 pull, just because I really want him. I mean, Shu's okay as well with her celery stick sword, but look at him. Purple. Okay. And now I'm going to do this one, because I can. Did you get the free 10 pull? Oh yeah, I've done that one already. Oh. Ah, 5. Okay, let's see what I've got. Ah. Okay. Warm me. I don't think I have. Ah, oh well. How many of these do I have? I'm not going to use them yet. 6. Okay, so I only need 4 more. And then I'll do a 10 pull next time. Or... Damn, I've already done them. Okay, never mind. I thought I hadn't yet. One is from the Rim Bulletin event before this. Oh, okay, so yeah, I definitely don't have a... Yeah, no, I don't. Oh, I did! Oh. I didn't think I... Oh, yeah, I did, because I tried to get the main character from the banner. Powers gave group brother K over. Primal Caster. Deals arts damage and can inflict elemental damage. Okay, not too bad. I'll look at that. Elemental Nuker. I love it when like the small character is like a nuker. Like, you know, it's just a it's always funny. But yeah, okay. I've kept saying that's all for now, and I've been saying that for like 5 times over the past 20 minutes, so now is all for now. But thanks guys so much for hanging around. It's been very fun, and I am happy to be finishing this event just because it's constantly been pushing it back and back. But it's done now, and I will now continue on with the next event and hopefully part of the story and then the other events. So, you know, we've got a good fun times coming up for Arknights. I'm especially looking forward to the Rainbow Six events, just because I've been really wanting to look into the details of the differences between real-world firearms and the firearms of Arknights, which is something I want to take a look at in more detail. But until then, though, thank you guys so much for coming around, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.